Lord.
All right. From the top. All right.
Say it exactly the same way you just said it.
Come on, Inspector Gadget. Get this shit together.
Welcome back to Straight Talk No Chase. I'm your host, Trip Simpson, along with Cosby Digital.
Devon Lassie.
My man, Devon Lassie.
Devon Lassie.
Devon Lassie.
Devon Lassie. Silent. Lesesne. It's French.
And my main man, Mr. Black Guns Matter himself, Mr. Toure. How's everybody doing tonight?
Wonderful.
Awesome. We appreciate the hospitality.
For sure. So, real quick, you know how we do at the beginning of the show, like everybody get a little quick introduction. Yeah. Tell us how your week went, what you got going on. Oh, thank you, sir.
This week's show is going to be sponsored by Hennessy. Is that a VS right there? Or VSOP?
VSOP.
Oh, that's classy.
Very special.
That's very classy.
Very special.
I don't put VS in my system unless there's nothing else.
Gifts of the show.
Very special.
Oh, we can't forget about the, I can't pronounce this word. Remy Toure.
Toure.
It's French.
You don't say.
It's French.
Don't like the French words.
But yeah, without any further ado, Cosby Digital, what you got going
on? Hey, I've been having a great week, man. Just back to the grind. You know, it's fall season coming up. You know, the end of the quarter for businesses. So everybody's on the grind, man. They're trying to figure out how they're gonna go into the new year. Same with me, man. Working on client stuff, working on the podcast.
Definitely.
All around fun, you know. I've been shooting lady. Shot the Nas concert this weekend.
I saw that, man.
Yeah, so that was Nas, my favorite artist. So that was the highlight of my week.
Why you do roly poly like that, man?
Oh, Roland Martin.
He called Roland.
Hey, Roland. Hey, Roland he had the two-step for the ages, and he had his all white linen on with the white shoes.
Man,
he was there.
Yeah, and when I shot it, I know how Trip feels about Roland, and I'm laughing the whole time.
I was gonna say like, yo, cause dude's a clown, and I didn't want to say it.
I've been laughing the whole time I'm shooting it because he's doing the two-step jig, and I was like, wait till Trip sees this. You know, it gave me. I was just getting out to Tariq voice in my head, calling roly poly, boule bird, all that wild shit. But yeah, that was a highlight of my week. About you, Devin?
Your highlight of your week was Roland Martin dancing?
Nas concert.
Oh, okay. All right. That was it. You know I'm itching already to push the button.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Mr. Lassie.
Yeah, there we go.
Who is the current vice president of the DC Young Democrats, also the former executive director. Let's give him a round of applause. Mr. Lassie, what you got going on?
A round of applause for you because you've been on the show 8 times, and that's the first time we got to.
Man.
Right.
Exactly.
That's progress.
8 times the charm, bro.
So this week has been awesome for me. If you here in DC, You know, Art All Night is this weekend. I also serve as a specialist for the Commission on the Arts and Humanities. So come out, join us. We all around the city. Myself personally, I'm going to be in Southeast, where I was born and raised, over in Congress Heights, and we're going to be turned up, and we're going to have a good time. We doing brunch, unlimited mimosas. Bring yourself. Hey, Congress Heights.
Oh, nah. Hey, listen.
Come on over.
I'm coming
Just
over.
go live.
That's where I like to spend my Art All Night at Congress Heights.
Shout out to
It's
the
lit
mayor.
over
What's
there.
Congress Heights?
Huh?
So we right across the bridge, right over here.
I'll give you a clue.
Make
Congress
the
ain't there.
Up Max.
Congress ain't
Look,
there.
other side.
He's a fucking pussy. He's scared to go be amongst his people.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
Yeah, he's
There's gonna be
scared,
heavy
bro.
police presence. We ain't gotta worry about none of that.
That's what
it's
I'm saying.
It's the whole corridor gonna be out there.
Heavy
lit.
police
I promise.
presence.
I promise
This
you.
is DC.
I promise you, nobody is going to allow anything to be happening.
First of all,
pussy.
no, I'm not a pussy.
You sound very
No.
pussified.
I don't want to.
Congress Heights.
I don't want.
You don't wanna go there, huh?
I don't want to shoot nobody.
Right.
Why would you have to shoot somebody?
Come on, dog.
No,
Times, man.
you're not.
You scared to be amongst your own people?
No, wait. No, it's gonna be a good
I'm
event.
not scared.
We got
No,
an event
it's
coming up.
it's gonna be a
cautious.
good event.
It's gonna
I'm
be
cautious.
safe, guys.
It's a citywide event. May endorsed it. We endorsed it. DSLBD endorsed it. I promise you.
I come.
Literally an
I come
artistic
through.
event.
Yeah,
Like
we
people
will-
are doing art on the street, vending, music.
It's all love.
So it's
like
like
a festival.
it's like a festival, like
But it's
Absolutely.
all over the city. Like
It's all
random
over the
places
city.
in the city. There's people doing like
Yeah.
concerts and all.
So I'll be hitting up 6 locations on the behalf of our director over at the Commission on Arts and Humanities.
Yeah, that's dope.
And then I'll be
Look.
doubling back around to my home base.
We're grown black men. We don't have to be scared to go anywhere in our city. So he's
Just
not a representation
A little cautious
of us.
though.
Yeah.
I'm like that.
I'm
in
not
Philly.
scared. I'm just cautious.
Yeah, I
That's fair.
go places if it look a little.
He
I'm
didn't
not-
say I was
I spent the
cautious.
first half of my career working in that neighborhood, so I'm just saying.
Look, I'm born and raised in it. I'm still here. I promise y'all it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
Me and a lady, me
No,
and a
that's
wife gonna be
dope.
out
I
there.
That was
Never
like
heard
10
anything
years
like
ago. That shit is like 75% gentrified now.
Are
Like,
you talking
Are you
about
on
the
Twitter?
Winter
Hey,
Fest?
wait.
What you talking about?
So wait, I just learned something too a couple days ago. My man David from the Green Haven Project, he told me the difference. Gentrified is good.
No.
Let me tell you what I mean. Let me tell you the difference in definition. Gentrified, you can gentrify your community by adding to the property values by just doing little things and making it better. When the community becomes colonized, gentrification usually goes with colonization. When the people that are there, the inhabitants, get moved out, that's when it becomes bad. But when it becomes beautified, then that's a good thing.
And I would disagree with him on the note that you cannot gentrify your own neighborhood and preserve it at the same time. Because to your point and to your argument, if I myself, despite with good intention, raise rates of home ownership, prices of rent, cost of living, etc., that is going to still price out the actual people who've been
I
there,
disagree.
the natives. That's fine. That argument is always had within the city. I push back on it vehemently.
So technically, what Nip was doing by telling the people in the community, "Hey, don't sell these homes. If you need a little bit of help, come see me. We're gonna get the businesses. We're gonna own the businesses." And he was making that community safer, right? That's more light, more business.
Yeah, and I wouldn't call that gentrification. I would call that preservation.
That's actually a good word.
yeah.
That's a good word. I said it.
Yeah,
I like that word.
Because you're
Preservation.
preserving.
But are we preserving or are we improving?
But let me answer that, John. Most black communities were thriving at one point, and then they devolved into
Correct.
what we call projects now.
Yeah.
So us bringing it back to a level that it once was can never be gentrification. It's like he said, preservation, or whatever the term you would say, revitalizing.
I like that word
It
better.
would be more because we all came from thriving communities at one point.
Yeah.
So I would push back against that.
I
narrative
like
as
that.
well.
I like that phrase better. I like your phrase of preservation better than gentrify, just based on solely on the connotation that word has. And I like that word revitalization better than anything. But the reality is, if it ain't us doing revitalization, gentrification, or preservation, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, I would agree.
And before we go too far,
Yeah.
I would like you to. We gotta go to your introduction.
Fucking jump right into shit. Like, yeah, who's this fucking
He just-
person
he
we
just
never
jumped in.
fucking haven't seen in 4 years?
heard
Who's this fucking person? Right.
So, as all 20 of our listeners know, Maj Toure was actually that was actually our first interview back in 2016.
Was that the first one?
I think you were our first interview. As a matter of
No,
fact,
it wasn't the first interview.
yes, he was.
No, go with it. Go with it.
He was. He was our first
Yeah,
interview.
I was.
At Listen Vision, he was our first interview.
All right,
whatever.
But then he came back once in 2017 when we were at that other place.
And Molly joined.
Yeah, Molly's joint. Yeah, but he did a Skype joint through Listen Vision. That was our first guest.
You know what? You're right. He is right. I forgot because you called in on that interview.
Yeah.
I thought Trayon was before him though.
Nah, he was before all of them.
I was absolutely the origin of all of this
Oh
shit.
shit, you the real OG, the OG triple OG.
So he's got a great movement going on, Black Guns Matter, teaching the community about gun rights and gun safety and all that good shit about guns. But I'm not going to ramble on. I'll let him explain what he does.
Well, thank you, brother, for the so eloquent layup of an introduction.
I'm not drunk yet, so.
Yeah, well, okay. We're still gonna be classy. Everybody listening, thank you for tapping in. My name is Maj Toure, founder of Black Guns Matter. We are a firearms safety and training organization. I believe, sidebar, all gun control is racist. Sidebar, all of the unconstitutional mandates that this federally patrolled and controlled area of DC that we're in now, I will not be following any of these unconstitutional mandates the entire time that I am here. I am going to carry a firearm every single place that I go because I am a safe and responsible gun owner, and I would challenge everyone to do the same. I may not jump on a podcast and say that because I got lawyers that'll like fight a case for me for free. You might not have that same situation, but I encourage everybody to be safe and responsible gun owners. We started this thing called Black Guns Matter. We just go to everywhere where we know that there's high levels of violent crime. Violent crime usually goes with more gun restrictions. So the areas that have more respect for the Second Amendment or the people's right to keep and bear arms, those places have lower violent crime rates, whether that's rape, homicide, robberies, so forth and so on. So we started this initiative to just teach people about how to be safe and responsible gun owners for free. We crowdfund it, and anybody can come learn for free in all of the cities that we do it across the country. And I'm very excited to be back here, and this place looks really, really nice, guys. Like really nice.
Oh, yeah, we moved on up in the
Yeah, so just appreciative to argue with you guys and the conversation will become more and more heated as we drink more and more alcohol. And yeah, that's it.
Definitely.
Oh wait, my week.
Okay, yeah. How was your week?
My week was cool, man.
You had an interesting day earlier.
Yeah, I just did some media with what's they called? The
Green something.
Grapevine.
Grapevine.
Interesting.
Yeah. And we were talking about vaccines and efficacy
group
and
of
hesitancy around the vaccine with black folks, and that was interesting. They kicked me off the show.
I bet.
Yeah.
They here
Fuck this white devil, and they was like, get him out of here. No.
They here stationed in DC?
I don't know. Are they?
He did it. I think you did it remotely, right?
Yeah, I did it remotely,
yeah.
but I just was like,
No, I'm
yo.
not a fan of the Grapevine.
Yeah, I didn't. So I don't. So we have a YouTube channel, but I'm not familiar with. Like I watch a lot of gun stuff. I watch a lot of Stop the Bleed stuff. I watch a lot of like I'm learning like trades and shit like that, like how to grow food. So that's what my YouTube experience is. But a lot of the shows that I do, I'm like, yo, I don't. Which actually sometimes helps me, cause I don't have the like, oh, I don't like this person, cause I don't like their view. I just go into it like green, and they absolutely try to attack me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, today, but it was interesting. But the week has been very good. Didn't go to a Nas concert, but listened to Nas's new album,
King's Disease 2.
King's Disease 2.
Fire.
Better than Drake and Kanye.
Oh no!
Better than both of their albums.
Oh no!
This is Aubrey Graham stand over here. He will not take any Aubrey Graham.
Listen,
I don't understand Drake's album.
Listen, you guys have got to be completely out of your mind if you're gonna sit up here and tell me King's Disease 2 or Donda is better than Certified Lover Boy.
I think
Donda is up there.
Donda is trash, bro.
Donda's trash.
Donda is not trash.
Donda's trash. And
Stop it.
What's the name of Drake's album?
Certified what? Lover Boy?
Certified Lover Boy.
That shit's trash
the
too.
only
I wouldn't
rapper
say it's
telling the
trash.
truth. That's why I respect Drake. The older rapper telling the truth.
What is it? What truth
I
is
wouldn't
he
say
telling?
he's telling the truth.
Yo,
I would
he
say
telling the
Hard's more
truth.
speaking
Yo,
the truth, but
I fuck
in terms
bitches
of
and
music,
drink champagne.
Oh no, that's fair. That's a fair.
Everyone
truth
else
to
is
say.
lying. Everyone else is literally
All right,
lying.
so what I don't like about that both of those albums, I need, and maybe I'm just dated. I need music like I like drums, I like aggression. I don't need every song, every beat to sound emotional. Like you're deep brute. Like I got a Sade catalog. I don't need. You know what I'm saying? Like
you felt like Donda was
Donda was just filled with nothing.
It's I don't.
Donda was like
Donda-
Lecrae might as well made Donda. It was like
hell no.
gospel rap light to me.
Donda's beats are the same as what album did he have?
Yeezus?
Yeah,
Yeezus. It's like a mix of Yeezus and 808s and Heartbreak.
Yeah.
No, 808s and Heartbreaks was a great album.
808s
It
and Heartbreaks was
That
great,
was
but
a
I can't
great
understand
album.
When you
Yeah.
I can't get with it.
Yeah,
I can't get with
Donda to me was
King's
awful.
Disease 2
I like all
had
three of
beats.
them.
It had Lauryn Hill. Is Nas the only artist ever to have 2 songs with Lauryn Hill?
I don't know.
Other than the Fugees, he might
Yeah.
be.
I think Nas just need to keep getting money and just stop rapping. I just don't want to hear it.
I
Did you
want no
hear
more Nas
Rare?
albums.
To
But
be
I
honest
don't
with
want
you,
no more
You
Nas
ain't
He
hear
didn't even listen to
You
that.
says,
I did. I skimmed through it. I was just like, Nas just put me the fuck.
He came into it with that attitude.
No disrespect to Nas
Nah,
though.
you're not
I like
gonna-
Nas. I like all of Nas's old
Bruh.
shit. It's just these old rappers. Like I just don't want to hear it.
You don't want to hear
Fabio,
Hov?
the first Kings, Fabio
Definitely don't want to hear
Foreign.
Hov.
You don't want to
Spicy?
hear Hov?
I'm over Hov, man.
Hov is done.
Hov's verse on Drake and fucking
It was
Kanye's album.
okay.
It was
It's
crazy.
a verse, but the
They're
albums
both of their
are like,
verses.
He's,
No,
also, he's also a Hove hater, so
No, I'm
he's
not.
biased.
The
He's very biased.
444 and the J Electronica album was fucking.
fuck garbage.
no, Jay
I almost
Electronica's
wanted to
album
jump
was
off
trash.
a bridge, you know?
Yeah, Jay Electronica's album was
But it
trash.
was a Jay Z mix. Like it.
It was trash. It was
And
trash.
444 was like,
No, I like No.
444 was good.
444 was good. 444 was good when
Was
you
it?
look when you look at it from the perspective
and what was
of
the joke when he had the Greeks on the front of the cover?
which one?
What Kanye?
Nah, Jay-Z.
The Greeks.
That's the album before that.
Magna Carta.
Holy
Oh,
Grail.
awful.
Heaven is dope. Heaven was dope on that
Yeah.
album. So
Now
okay.
on to the next one. That
The
joint's
Joni
fire.
did was Kanye. What Kanye
Carter
was his
3
last
was
good album.
that-
Watch the Throne.
Yeah,
The next
that was it. And Kanye held that
I
down.
can't agree with you on that.
The Carter 3.
I can't agree.
I think I did Carter 3.
All right, so let's not go down the hip hop rabbit hole because
All
that
right,
could be
okay.
the whole show.
You're right.
It could. Certified
so-
Lover Boy all day.
So like I said, he's a Drake stan. So
I'm not a stan.
I don't know. You
I'm not a fan of anyone.
tall for.
I'm a listener.
The only rapper that's telling the truth. And you put your hand in there.
Is it a lie?
That certifies you as a
All
stan.
right, no. Let me say. I think Gotti's telling the truth. Yo, Gotti.
Nah, hell no.
You don't think so?
Shit, Young Dolph told you that nigga wasn't telling the truth.
But Young Dolph he has a reason to be a little upset with him.
I know.
Didn't
Young Dolph sounds believable though.
Yeah, Young Dolph thinks so. I believe that motherfucker.
He definitely sounds a little
He
bit.
told that nigga, said, you beefing with a dyke, nigga? That you can't come back from that. You can't come back.
All right. Let's get into the topic.
All right, let's do
it. We gonna
First
go off
question
the
for
rails.
tonight. First question for tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Conservatism. Is it a feasible option for Black Americans? Crosby, I'll start with you.
Who the fuck is Crosby? First of all,
Cosby.
absolutely. Conservatives.
Hold on, wait a minute. What?
So conservatism has always been within the Black community since our inception.
Okay.
Because we're inexplicably tied to Christianity, and the principles of Christianity are inherently conservatism. So you can't get away from the most conservative places in this country are in the South, where the churches are the strongest. The Mississippi's, the
Bible Belt.
the Bible Belt. You know, Black people vote in astronomical numbers for the Democratic Party in this area, not knowing most of their some of their linchpin issues are conservative in nature, right? So Black people are already have basically one toe in the conservative party and they don't realize it because they've been kind of socialized to believe in one thing or another, Democrat, Republican, this two-party system, right? So
That's really mature of you.
yeah, so if they don't understand that they have certain things that they agree with. That's why a person like Joe Biden can sweep the South, even though I think compared to a Bernie Sanders, his policies. Yeah, I mean, like he made a strong, like when they was like, damn, Joe on the ropes. He came when that Bible Belt hit. It was.
Did he?
Yes, it was a knockout.
Them AZ audits coming next Friday.
Okay, we gonna see.
Just so everybody has a clear understanding.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But as of right now, he smashed the South. So black people got to realize that they've been voting in a conservative way based upon their affiliation with Christianity, sometimes to spite themselves. Now, I'm a black man.
Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
Biden ain't conservative.
Yes, he is.
He is.
He absolutely is.
Biden is a Republican.
Yes, he is.
Biden ain't.
Biden is a Republican.
I don't think Biden's conservative though.
Hell no.
The nigga just gave everything to China.
Right. That's fucking liberalism. What are we talking about?
Biden is a conservative.
So
he's definitely a Dixiecrat.
So let's hold on.
And a Dixiecrat is a conservative. A Dixiecrat, if we want to talk about the history, if we want to talk about the culmination of what Joe Biden and his amalgamation, if you want to call it, is Joe Biden, if in any other political system, would be a Republican. The only reason he's not considered a conservative is because America was built on far-right principles when we talk about and we look at the inauguration of slavery and everything that it was built on. Even when you look at people like AOC and Elizabeth Warren, those are more center-right, center-left people.
You are out of your fucking mind, bro.
I'm not, because when we look at the policies.
Oh, we about to argue
When we
tonight.
look at the policies, when we look at what people stand for, when we look at how people govern, all of the policies that Trump has put in place, they have not been undermined. They have not been gutted. They have been doubled down on, from the tax policies to the foreign policy to all of the policies around immigration, outside of what we are talking about with what you call it, the Haitian group.
Yeah.
And again, that's a different conversation because we know this right here is a conversation that is separate from anything else. Go ahead.
But hold on. So Joe Biden is one step from Mitt Romney of 2016.
One step.
And it's a short step.
A baby
step. Very baby step. Baby step.
You J. Edgar Hoover.
So
let me ask y'all this. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
No. Yeah, I passed.
Hold the bottle.
We got more time. We got more time for the round robin.
Because I want to hear your rebuttal to what was said.
Yeah.
You good, E?
All right.
E's the only one with permission to come walk through the camera.
Right.
He's the only one with permission.
That's a conservative. You see what we got on the shirt? That's Garvey. Garvey was conservative. Garvey was conservative.
I would agree.
But I'm go ahead because I'm about to line y'all.
No, it's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn? Cool. Let me tell you who are conservatives. El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, also known as Malcolm X. Conservative. Called white liberals like AOC, like Joe Biden, the most dangerous thing to black people in America. Marcus the Honorable, let me back up, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, conservative, do for self, control your community, the economics. We're conserving a community.
Conserve your resources.
We conserve your resources. We're not talking about Republican. The question was conservatism. Okay? The top tier Hall of Fame, check all of the checklist, top ballot, first team conservative of all time, Frederick Douglass.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Fought against enslavement, pushed for individual freedom and liberty, spoke about the Constitution, spoke about being armed, talked about being a free man, conservative. When you say to me, Joe Biden is anywhere in the fucking room as those great men that I just named, I gotta sit up and I gotta say, you're absolutely out of your fucking mind. Joe Biden is a racist that has spent 50 years of his life breaking up black people. You want to talk about separation at the borders? This man made a whole entire political career out of breaking families up, proudly saying that even men that had a firearm and weren't even using it in the commission of a crime, but were selling drugs or had the drugs on them, he made it so the judges couldn't do their job. That job being judging and evaluating what's happening. That man's gonna get 5 to 10 years regardless. This is y'all president. That man is a fucking racist, is a liberal as the day is long, has been giving away. I'll tell you what, so let's go back to the definition of liberal.
Hey, hold on, we're
not talking about classic liberal.
I just want to, I'll grant you the argument.
No, you can't grant it me, it's right. It's no granting. It's actual.
I'll grant you the argument in terms of Malcolm X, Frederick Douglass, and all of those people.
Tell me how Joe Biden, in any way, he not fit to carry any of their draws.
Because it's what I want you to understand is it's about what is being conserved. Both groups, again, the people that you
What has Joe Biden conserved? Other than locking black men?
White supremacy.
White supremacy, racism.
Oh, okay. That's the angle. Oh, that's the angle. I'm agreeing with you. If he can serve in the Klan, absolutely.
That's the thing about conservatism. It's not about this blanket ideology of conserving as a whole. It's about what it is you're conserving.
I can see
so
that.
What happens?
I can see what you mean by that.
I'd like to interject though, because I understand where you're coming from, and I understand where you're coming from. But I will say, Joe Biden is not a conservative. He is a liberal because of the things that he supports and the things that he's done since he's been in office. I mean,
has he conserved the Constitution?
Hold on.
Says otherwise.
Has he conserved the Constitution?
Conservatives don't.
I
would say he's a neoliberal, but not a liberal.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Definitely.
Neoliberal.
So a new bitch ass motherfucker.
But
neo. All right.
But neoliberals are conservatives by.
So I'll say this.
By ground.
Look at what just happened in Afghanistan. Like, you literally, me personally, I don't give two shits about Afghani refugees coming over here.
Yeah.
But what I do see is that he literally just gave everything that the American corporation fought to steal from Afghanistan. He gave the shit to China. That ain't conservative.
And that's the thing.
This hits me because he also supports the fact that my children have to go to school and they are told that the fucking sky is neon green instead of blue. If you know what the fuck I mean.
Yep.
Shit like that is not conservative.
It's not.
That's strictly liberal bullshit.
So
Joe Biden isn't last.
But that's not about resources. So when we're talking about, and especially in America, the true undergirding of conservatism is conserving the resources, the access to capital, the access to land, the access to the real American dream. All of the other shit is just frosting on the cake.
I disagree.
That you're talking about. Because when we talk about Joe Biden, his real conservative policies, it's one, this the layup. It's busing, right? That was his claim to fame, right? That's about conserving resources. I don't want
when
your
you say
children,
the busing,
he was against busing black children to other neighborhoods.
Okay.
For purpose of education. That's access to resources, which gives you access to wealth, which is what we're all really fighting about, right? That's his claim to fame policy that put him on the map. That's a conservative policy because that means I'm trying to limit your access to what we have.
That's not a conservative policy. No, it's not.
So if I can hold on, answer this question. So if I can limit your education, that means I can limit your access to resources.
That's not conservative.
And so how would you, just to understand
how is it not?
Limiting someone's access to resources and education is not a conservative principle.
That's conserving the resources for my community. If I let you come into my community and study where my children study, have access to what my children study, you'll have access to the resources my children will have because you get in my children's network. We're gonna go to elementary school together,
I can see
middle school together, high school together, college together.
Yeah.
And then now we're together.
I understand.
So now you have access. You can marry my daughter.
I understand
I understand
that
your
view.
daughter can marry my son. So now you have access to my same resources.
Do we gotta
that's inherently
wait? Do we gotta pause here? We gotta pause here.
Hey, no, we good. We got this.
Yo. chill. Y'all gotta chill out. Y'all gotta chill. We gotta shoot the show.
Y'all
gotta go. Y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta go sit down. Y'all gotta chill.
Joe getting blasted.
Y'all gotta chill.
All right, so look, I understand what you're saying in the sense of what you're talking about. We actually agree. That's not a conservative principle. His reason behind it is a bigoted principle. So, for example,
but bigots are about conserving. They don't want you to move into their neighborhood. So why didn't they want you to move into their neighborhood? They don't want you to have the same house.
So let's go with that logic. Yeah. Let's use your argument.
Are you saying, just so I can hear correctly, are you saying bigots and racists can't be conservative?
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, I'll clarify it for you. Mm-hmm. Technically, based on what the Ku Klux Klan, will we agree that they're a Christian organization?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Now, Christians would say they're absolutely not, if they're not in the Klan, we're absolutely not a Christian organization. You can ascribe and attribute a thing to something that others be like, yeah, nah, that's not what that is. So, for example, me, I'm a libertarian. I want to be clear. I don't give a fuck about this duopoly. I think the duopoly has done more to harm, more specifically, but not limited to, black people than anything. This binary thought of like, I'm black, so I gotta be a motherfucking Democrat, or
I agree.
Get off the Democratic plantation, be a Republican. What if I want to be independent? What if I want to be libertarian?
I vote Green Party. So
what if I want to be Green Party?
You voted for Joe Biden.
You voted for Joe?
I voted for the Green Party.
Oh, okay, cool.
I voted down ballot, and I'm a registered Democrat.
So you went D straight down?
No, I did not. I vote based on principle, but in terms of DC, unfortunately,
it's all
most
Democrats.
people are all Democrats.
I wrote in Kanye West for fun.
Just cause. Which is your right.
My grandmother told me to vote, so I was like, hey, I voted.
All right, easy. So, to your point of things that can be ascribed to someone, these aren't conservative principles. Those are bigoted principles. And I'm not saying people that identify as, conservative can't be bigots. I'm saying, yes, a lot of them do. There's a lot of people in the Second Amendment community that hide their bigotry behind patriotism. They say I'm a patriot. And no, you're not, because you're not actually, you ain't even read the fucking Constitution before. I keep one in my motherfucking book bag. So I've read the Constitution 4 times at this point, more than the Bible. So my point, or the Quran, or the Bhagavad Gita, or the Toure Papyrus, or the Gilgamesh epics. My point in saying that is, I think we're ascribing bigotry to people, and yes, it has been a certain level of conserving this good old boy bigotry, let's lock these niggers up. That has been conserved. He's done it for, again, half of a fucking 100 years. But that doesn't make him conservative. Conservatives are the people, the definition of conservatism is a person that highlights and preserves individual liberty. Individual liberty within the I think we mix in spiritually conservative, because in America, to your point, this is a primarily Christian nation, right? Mm-hmm. So I agree with that. So if you're giving it the religious stand, they're going to preserve the morals and values in alignment with the Judeo-Christian standpoint. So in that point, yeah. But that Christian thing, that don't hit me the same either, because you same motherfuckers that's talking about church, your elders was the same one that was locking my motherfucking elders and or my other elders, y'all was hanging them from fucking trees. So in that sense of him conserving that bigotry, absolutely. But when we talk about his policies saying that my patience is wearing thin with the American people, that's not a public servant conserving the Constitution, which is there to put limits on government, not limits on the people. Yeah. That's not conservatism. That's not him respecting individual liberty. That's him mandating things to tell black folks that they're gonna put y'all back in chains. That was his last go round. Now we talking about if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Now we saying my patience getting thin with you niggas. So no, main man is not respecting individual liberty, not conserving the Constitution, not respecting due process, which is the fucking one job of a politician. There's 3 branches, executive, legislative,
So I get your argument now. You're arguing from a idealistic, pure standpoint.
A pure is a social.
The actual definition of the word.
I got you. And in that sense, you are correct. I particularly don't necessarily for myself, argue from that position because I take the world for what it is and I take the cesspool of America for what it is. And I try to
facts.
I navigate that arena from the standpoint of these people do not have any of those principles, do not have any of those levels of integrity. Because to your point, when we talk about like vaccine mandates, I tell people I'm vaccinated, but at the same given token, I don't necessarily agree with vaccine mandates because it does infringe and it creates an argument. Because what people, we look at China and we say, oh, well, that's crazy, right? That they over there mandating the fact that you can only play video games for a certain amount of time due to
you can only have this
the
many
health causes,
babies,
right? But what people don't understand is, and to your point, in weaponizing the arguments and the narratives, when people get online and people get in these spaces and they begin to talk based on their own self-righteousness, it gets weaponized by bad faith actors, quote unquote, our current political infrastructure to say then, okay, we have a populace who agrees with the fact that we need everybody mandated and vaccinated, and we're going to use that to actually entrench our own ideological values. And that's where I come from in terms of my positions, in that I would love that everybody moved in its pure form, and that's why I made that gradient scale in terms of AOC, Elizabeth Warren, because I don't view those people as quote unquote left. I think everybody in this room is more left than anybody in Congress right now. So despite the Green New Deal and despite the policies that they talk about and despite the virtue signaling that they do, they don't necessarily have the actual track record.
What it sounds like to me is your idea of left and your idea of right is the same fucking thing. It's just inverted.
Because I can agree that all the people who he named were conservative.
Very conservative.
But like you said, you're looking at the word conservative through its actual meaning.
But
you're looking at the word conservative.
But you can be conservative on the left and on the right.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, this guy, he is in politics.
Right. So he sees them going like, nah, you're not really the thing that you saying you are, to a certain extent, right?
Because they gotta win elections.
But here's the twist, though. But by not taking that stand on the actual definition of word, that's how we lose the word. Like, take the word liberal, for example.
I agree. And to your point, and you can agree with me if I'm wrong, I despise identity politics.
Yeah.
And what I mean by identity politics is there's so many arguments around this person is misogynist, this person is racist, this person is bigoted, this person is that. It diffuses, one, the actual credence of what we're actually attaching to somebody, and also we're undermining the thing that we're calling it. For example, Kamala Harris called Joe Biden a racist during the election cycle. Yeah. She then got on TV and said it was just a debate, laughed about it, and now it's his vice president. Right. That undermines any other claim that is called racism. When we talk about misogyny, when we talk about all of these different things, I agree with you 100% that the reason that I do not classify myself as a leftist and why I draw a line in the sand in that is because I am not a fan of hyperfluid concepts, because hyperfluid concepts allow people to absolve accountability. Right. And absolving accountability is the issue in which we have in America right now. And that is a problem overall in our Republican, Democrat, whatever you want to call it.
That's the reason why I hold people to the standard of the word. It's like racists do exist. Mm-hmm. The definition of a racist is a person that believes that one ethnic or racial group is superior or inferior to another. That's the definition. Because that motherfucker got on a MAGA hat, don't tell me he racist because he wore that hat. That's not the definition. I am a wordsmith. Mm-hmm. And words have fucking power. They have definitions, they have meanings, they have fucking... It's spelling. It's a fucking spell. It's casting spells. And I want the spell to be right that I cast on motherfuckers. So when you say he a racist, to your point, cause he fucking argued with you? Cause he had even the extreme of, let's go super extreme. Well, he had a Dixie flag. Well, I seen fucking Big Boy and fucking Andre 3000 had a Dixie flag. Are they racist too? I seen Kanye had a racist flag. A Dixie flag. Does that mean he's? We got to get to the actual definitions because the definition is what I'm going to hold you to. It's the same reason how I hold all of America to. You said this in this contract called the Constitution. You said this. This is still our framework. This is the Constitution and these Bill of Rights. Is this what we going by?
So,
yeah.
I'd like to interject. To be honest, I don't give a fuck if somebody is racist or not. I don't care. Right? When I look at politics, especially going forward, right? Because based on the things that me personally, what I'm seeing right now, I'm seeing red in 2022 and 2024 for simple reasons, right? I don't give a fuck who's racist and who's not at this point, right? I'm looking at the laws and the policies that are being enacted on both sides.
Yeah.
And when I look at both sides, I want to reiterate this. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, but there's a gun to my head. I'm going Republican. Why? Because the laws that they want to implement make more sense. Granted, the only law that I actually really care about that should ever get passed is reparations for what Black Americans have been through in this country. Now I know Republicans will never agree with that. Democrats will pretend and they'll never do it. So that topic right there,
I don't know.
That topic right there.
No, I agree because they got real all of this. When it come down to the money, even main man got on. What's his name? Somehow fucking socialist, Bernie Sanders. Yeah. Right.
The Great White Hope.
Right. Gets on the Breakfast Club. We can't have this conversation about motherfucking reparations. But when it was time to spend taxpayer dollars or print up more tax dollars for this COVID relief that went to special interests and big business, printed money, go brrr. So no,
but I don't expect the general Democratic Party like you talked about or the Republican Party to push reparations.
Exactly. So,
but there are elements from the left who are pushing the mainstream people to put that. How do you think the reparations?
I think it's just
how did the reparations conversation get into
it hasn't happened.
The reparations conversation came up because of three people, and none of them get along. Well, two of them. Yvette Carnell, Antonio Moore, and Tariq Nasheed, and then other niggas on the internet split it off of that. But there's no real politicians.
But I don't think you're not like the.
The one white lady. What was her name? What was her name? The white lady.
You're giving. Hold on. You're giving.
There was a Democratic nominee who actually got on stage and said she was for reparations, specifically for Black Americans. Her name was Marie something.
Marianne Wilson.
Marianne Williamson. She's the only one.
She's not the only one. So I'm not gonna get into the minutia. Hey y'all, Google politicians that were for reparations. They're way more than just the two. Hold on, let me finish.
There are politicians that are for HR 40, but HR 40 is not reparations. That's a fucking joke.
No, beyond HR 40. I know HR 40. I'm talking beyond.
Who are they?
They're it's some Justice Democrats that push it. I don't know exactly who they are.
What policy? Did they create legislation?
They supported legislation. So they
supported what legislation?
I don't know the exact legislation, but I know
that doesn't count, bro. Come on, you normally know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna look it up and we can put it in the show notes.
I believe that they say it. They pump fake game is way better.
That's how I feel.
The Republicans is going like, fuck reparations. We ain't got the money, but they'll still go, print that money up, right?
For sure.
And I think the Democrats will go, see these evil Republicans? They don't want to acknowledge Black people's plight, but they don't put forth no legislation. Then they do goofy shit like say, even before reparations, how about you just let me do what I want to do? Just leave me alone for a second.
That's what I was going to get at. When I look at policy on the left and the policy on the right pretty much says you can do whatever the fuck you want.
But that's detrimental.
I would
always look from a black perspective.
When you look at
hold on, stop talking.
Stop talking. I didn't get to finish my fucking point.
Because you asked. No, it was my turn to talk.
I didn't ask nobody. I was still making a point.
I'm about to give you a layup.
I didn't ask anyone a goddamn thing.
It was definitely my turn to
talk. Go ahead, man.
I would agree.
So
I ain't gonna bully a man with glasses.
Watch it. Hey, you know, I know he came to play. He came with the Canadian tuxedo. Hey, look,
Shots
he
fired.
put a
That's
nice
fucked
outfit
up.
over you, man. Like, he usually comes to show bummy. So,
Bubby.
He's a firefighter. These guys firefighters are always clean.
Normally I'm at home. Like, what the fuck you want me to wear at home?
he had like socks and slides on and shit. You know what I'm saying? Why I say
petty
that's
motherfucker, man.
dangerous, right, for black people. And I can appreciate how you want to hold America to the contract they signed, but it's been 400 years of a case study that even when the letter of the law should apply to us, it does not apply to us. Like a Philando Castile is a perfect example. He followed every rule by the book, right? Let you know I
No,
have
he
a
didn't.
gun.
I'm about to say, did he?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Now, I don't agree with the fact that he was killed.
Right.
I don't agree with that at all.
He didn't.
Okay, so let's say if he didn't.
I don't agree with that at all.
So,
I can give you two in a drunken stupor. I can give you 2 to 3 reasons
right,
how
but-
he didn't apply. And let me be clear, because somebody gonna chop that part up,
Let me know,
and it's
we-
gonna be
we
like,
can-
Maj said Philando Castile deserved to die.
No, we can spin back to that.
Yeah.
Or let's just keep it in general. How many
Okay.
black people have been killed in spaces where it was open carry and the police rolled up on them?
More
in
white
states?
people have.
But we're talking about black people
I'm
in
t- I'm-
America
I'm-
and
I'm
how
t-
dangerous.
no. We're talking about-
We can spin back. We can spin back to that.
Come on,
Look,
what's the press secretary?
look.
Let's circle back.
I deal with him all the time, so I know the Republican filibuster, the conservative.
He dances around what I say all the
He tries
time.
it all the time, so I just spin on it, right?
We're gonna circle back to that.
We're gonna circle back to that. So
You petty motherfucker.
America
I'm telling
has
you.
taught us that even when we get to a standard or we try to apply the letter of the law to us, it's the goalpost is constantly moved.
I agree with
well,
that.
you didn't. Well, it's supposed to be this, but
I mean, I
you
don't
know it's
know.
a
I mean,
nigga, so we can't
no,
do
no,
that.
but look.
It's supposed to be that.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you where I
It's supposed
agree.
to be this. So when
Let
we
me tell
talk
you where I
about
agree.
when we talk about we're opening up to Republican policies, when we talk about the environment, like they don't give a fuck about the next generation, right? Black people
Wrong.
are gonna be here. Like it's genetically speaking.
I'd like to stop you right there. No. The numbers don't support anything that you're saying.
The numbers don't
support. If you look at all liberal cities, where all of these,
black people will continue to exist
I'm gonna
because
let
of
you
our
go, man.
birth weight, and white people
I'm gonna
will
let you
not
go.
exist in a certain way.
I
just
agree.
by like 100 years.
this is all emotion
It's gonna
based.
be
It's
all-
no numbers based on what you're saying.
No, this is a scientific fact.
No, it's
of
not.
Of birth rates.
It's not.
So what's
no,
the
no,
birth- what's the birth
no.
rate?
The birth rate part I'm agreeing with.
Fuck the birth rate.
Even,
No,
even
so hold on. If
we
we talk
talking about the
about what we
numbers
know
in
that-
regards to the policies. So, for example, the statement that you made, equal letter of the law. Let's use guns, which is my lane.
In
Black
context,
pe-
we're 13% of the population.
Black people benefit.
Math. We got to do math.
Let's do the math.
Yeah.
The science that all
Hold on,
sciences
time
are
out, time
based
out,
It's
on.
gonna be more white people that have to.
Now he wants to do math.
Now, but it was just a second ago.
Hold
it was
on,
like,
hold on.
no, wait.
Interesting argument.
Let's
I want to hear.
I'm gonna be quiet. I'm
Any
gonna be quiet.
statistic you're gonna sign
No,
for
no.
white people, it happens to white people more. Everything happens to
You
white
see how
people.
he
No, it
goes?
doesn't.
Statistically,
I'm giving you.
it's
I'm
more,
giving.
way more white
All right,
people.
all right.
So
in
wait,
the
wait,
Let's
wait.
go with that. Let's go with that.
So let's
got
go
you.
with.
Let's go.
So
I
let's
like to
go
give
with
context.
your.
So go
Let's
ahead.
go with your argument.
Yeah.
Right. And your argument is contingent. Your statement that you just made of. There's more white people than than colored melanated beings.
Period. In America, because we're talking about American statistics.
So that's under the belief that one, black people is actually filling out the census. Is that true to you?
Even if we
Is
fill
that
it out,
true?
even if we fill it out
No.
at a 50% rate,
Currently,
it's
we've been floating at 13 for 50 years. 13%. I keep hearing it for decades.
So let's adjust.
Wait, so wait.
Adjust to 25%. We're
so-
still 25%.
So
I'll give you 10%.
Wait.
The math still is the math.
So we gotta go with the math, and I gotta ask questions about the math.
So let's go with 30.
So let's say 30. So let's say 30. Let's say 30%.
30%.
I'm gonna
30%
give
of
you
what?
a stat
That black people are
Black
30% of
of
our
America.
population.
Right? Let's go with that. Let's just it's theoretical. It's not. It's
I'm gonna give you
hypothetical.
the top of the scale.
But you're giving me some room.
Some leeway.
Yo, we're doing some wizardry with math.
It
right
is.
now.
It's not math. It's like hypothetical. We everybody
You said
listening.
you didn't believe in the census.
No, I didn't say that. That's not what I said. I said for your number of 13%, because you said there's way more white people in America than black people.
Do you think it's less or more black people than 13%?
That I'm not saying I believe or disagree with that. What I'm saying is, going with what you said, we have to be in agreement that those numbers, that 13% that have been holding for damn near the same time Joe Biden been in political office, that 13%, and I
gave you the margin of error.
Wait.
Up to 30.
So, no. You did give me the margin of error, but I'm just saying why I asked that question. Yeah. Right? That will be contingent upon, that 13% will be contingent upon, we're agreeing that a large percentage of black people faithfully fill out that census, because that's how they get to them numbers. And if we're agreeing with that, then cool. But if we're not, that's why you graciously gave me the 30%.
Yeah, because I don't believe, I believe any polling or something always has a margin
some
of error.
Shit into it,
It
right?
always has a margin.
So let's go with 25%. So it's 25%. I'm gonna give you a statistic that's based on just numbers. Stand your ground laws in America disproportionately are in favor of black people using firearms to defend their life against white people. There's a stat. So if we still only that 25%, disproportionately in a positive way for us, we use a firearm to defend our life against white people.
But what about officers? I think officers and just general
that's a whole nother sidebar. I'm just talking about the ethnicity of the group, right? So what I'm saying to you, the reason why I'm bringing
I mean that's an easy thing. Most gun crime is gonna be outside of the legal system. If JoJo and Johnny beefing, it ain't gonna be no stand your ground because neither one of them reporting that they shooting at each other.
It's not gonna be a stand your ground. We talking about stand your ground cases.
But that's what I'm saying. The population still comes into effect because there's way more white people. So the chances are I'm gonna have to defend myself in a lawful manner against white people than it would be another black person.
The statistics speak for themselves.
The numbers speak.
The bottom line is
that's not a bottom line.
You're gonna have to defend yourself.
I was on the way to the bottom line.
Let him finish the line.
I'm on the way to the bottom line because your point was in the bigger scheme of things and numbers and the stats and all of these different things. What I'm sharing with you is everything isn't in that monolithic space where, of course, and those stand your ground cases are heavily backed by Republicans. The left or Democrats have tried fervently to remove stand your ground. They even used the Trayvon Martin situation. They presented it as if it was argued as a stand your ground case, and it wasn't. They used the George Zimmerman murdering Trayvon Martin. They packaged it to the media as if it was a stand your ground defense. It was not. To try to attempt to get black people to go against stand your ground laws when black people defend themselves from white people using stand your ground as their defense, and they benefit from that disproportionately, even at the gracious 25% that you gave me. See, it's quiet in here because I'm right as fuck.
No, I'm just letting you finish. So
I'm done.
I'm just letting you finish.
I would like to say, I'd like to finish my point, and I agree with what you're saying. I can just look at the most liberal cities in the country, right? They're riddled with the most fucking crime. That's the bottom line.
Hear that quiet again?
No, I don't think
those two aren't correlated.
What I'm saying is, these states like Texas,
they definitely aren't.
Right? Florida, okay. It's funny though. Every time somebody gets shot in Florida, it makes worldwide news, right? But the thing is, the crime rate in DC, Chicago, New York, of violent crimes is way higher than these places when you have a whole lot of black people concentrated in the South. Like Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, Florida. Niggas ain't getting shot
in America's in the South.
It's gonna be one word.
Hold on.
Shoot a hole in that whole argument.
No, what I'm saying is places where gun control is relaxed.
I was about to say per capita.
Per capita and population
places
density.
where gun control is relaxed.
Do you know the numbers population density or per capita?
I can go ahead. Wait. Let me ask you this.
No, this is a real question. Yes or no?
I do.
I'm asking him.
Oh no. Ask me that question.
Right. Per capita population density.
I was going to say yes.
Go ahead. You go.
Per capita population density of the three cities he just named.
Wait, what's the question? Do I know what that means?
Yeah. I'm saying
one per 100,000. Yes.
Honestly, I think both of those arguments are different. But if you all are going to correlate those two,
Nah, I mean, listen. All I'm saying is, the places where the gun control is the tightest, there's more gun violence.
That's a fact. That's not. There are
also more people and more guns in every one of those cities.
No, it's not.
But it's not supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be because the fucking rules is like you're not supposed to have this gun.
How do you have more gun violence in one city than you do in an entire state? Texas is the biggest state in the United States, but New York City has more gun violence than the entire state.
Gun rules. Take New York as the state and city alone. New York City, 8 million people, has all of the motherfucking rules. And I get your point. You're saying, well, it's because it's a bunch of people. What we're talking about, because this conversation is talking about the policies enacted by the mother. But then you have other places that have a whole bunch of motherfucking people. You can't ignore the fact that where there's Democrat policies, and ignoring it is not math, my brother.
Well, so
let's keep it to conservatism.
So you got to realize
conservatism and liberalism.
You're arguing with someone. You're arguing with two people that are from Washington.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Hold on. Let me finish. You're arguing with two people from Washington D.C. Guns have been illegal my whole life, right? But you know what has been around me my whole life?
Guns.
So the statistics you're talking about, criminal underworld or the average citizen don't give a fuck about what the national gun law is or the how many this and how many. We were the murder capital.
That's not true.
For a long time.
That's not true.
We were the murder capital when the gun laws were the strictest. Every nigga I knew had a gun.
You're proving the point.
I'm not proving the point. Do you realize why everybody? Do you realize why people? Do you realize why people don't?
Hold on. We literally had the strictest gun laws in the country.
And your murder rate was all the way up.
That's what everybody had a gun. So it wasn't the policy.
But they were illegal guns.
They're
illegal guns.
I'll give you an example. I'm saying,
are you arguing that if we loosen our gun laws here in DC,
they have been loosened. They have been loosened.
Let me give you an example.
Go down.
I'll give you two examples, maybe three. One, let's use Portugal, and I hate using other countries because I don't fucking live in Portugal. I live in fucking America.
That's not.
I'm a fucking re-up.
Let's not use it.
Yeah, no, because it has merit. It has merit, and I'm gonna argue against what I normally do because it has merit. Fuck what you normally do. This has merit. Portugal, a few years back, said, listen, fuck that. Y'all wanna use drugs, coke, heroin, pills, shrooms, we don't give a fuck. Use them. We not sending you to jail for it. And we absolutely ain't, the money that we was spending on helping you get over it, we not. We're gonna divert a big chunk of that money into community programs, local programs, and we're gonna take some of that money and just rebuild our infrastructure. But we're not chasing you motherfuckers for some shit that you wanna do. You got the money, he got the drugs, y'all, that's called fucking commerce.
Victimless crime.
Boom. When they did that, Portugal's crime dropped 80% within 2 years. You know why? Because the violence surrounding protecting turf. That black market or white market, right? Damn near dried the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, we can just sell this shit now. You talk about, so now let's use a fake example, right?
Well, I'll say on record, I'm for the legalization of all drugs, and that doesn't correlate to gun violence.
It does.
I think it does.
It does. I'm with the legalization and it
I'm for the legalization of all drugs.
Americans are a different breed. I'm sorry.
It absolutely
this ain't
does.
fucking Portugal.
Portugal is an example of that. I'll give you a fake example.
Americans ain't got
Further illustrate the point. It's a hypothetical.
Finland did it. Parson, a lot of Scandinavian countries.
Right.
And I'm for that.
China.
Now,
for that 100%.
Now, here's the argument against my own point in those countries. That's why I'm very skeptical about using places that have super homogenous motherfucking people in it.
Exactly.
Because it's like, well, it's
That's
all
a whole
them,
different dynamic.
so that's a whole. So I'm gonna get pushed back against that. Yeah. Now I'll give a hypothetical example. We all watch the fucking Wire, Amsterdam. Yo, we don't want the bodies. Y'all can sell whatever the fuck you want. Buy for one, sell for two. We don't care. They want to smoke. We're not gonna fucking stop them from smoking. They haven't hit rock bottom yet. They don't want to stop. You got it. I'm gonna let you do that until the bodies come.
That's a fucking. But. Like,
I'll give you a different example.
But that's a great example.
Let me give one example. I think it's really this simple.
But that's not
I think it's this
real
simple.
World shit.
If I'm a criminal, right, and I know that everyone around me has the right to legally carry a gun, I'm less likely to rob you because I'm like, I might
there's a 70% chance if I'm Rapey McNapey There's a 70%
Rapey
chance.
McNapey?
Yeah. This fucking lady is gonna put fucking rounds in me for trying to like.
No, I do agree with that sentiment though. In terms of just the.
But real world application.
We see
when people like real world application.
He's pulling out the liberal Rolodex.
Like,
real world application.
It's very few people. It's not just you own a gun. You have to actually be trained to use a gun and actually be reacting to situations.
Close range,
but
man.
It's very few people. If they get ran up on,
I do this for a living.
Kyle would shoot people quicker than a person.
Look.
I'm saying that he's saying just in general, the population is more armed. Criminals will be afraid to deal with people.
I agree with
that.
that.
Yes, that's true.
But in the most dangerous cities, right?
Nobody can lawfully have a gun, so nobody lawfully trains.
Fucking
guys
No,
fucking
but
know
in
it.
the most dangerous cities, they have the most carjackings, robberies.
Because they know
nobody can have a
nobody's
gun.
gonna fucking return fire.
But the niggas got,
You're talking about the bad guys.
Even
Dog,
inter-community violence.
you're making a
when
moot
you're ready-
point right now.
so when
You're making a
ready
moot
to
point.
prey on
Just
somebody,
stop.
right?
Just stop.
You
Think about
lost
what you're
this.
saying.
No,
Think about it like this.
You made good points. This one ain't one of them.
Just because you say I lost doesn't mean I disagree with you.
Shame,
Statistically,
insults,
when
guilt, and the
places
need to be
that
right.
have more guns. Like I lived.
You
in
worse than these
Texas.
hoes, man.
I lived in Texas for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
One of the most places with the most liberal gun laws. If you got an ID, you over a certain age, you can go to the gun show.
That's Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and go get yourself a gun.
Boom.
So
The crime in Houston is nowhere in comparison, which Texas in and of itself has more respect for the right to keep and bear arms. And Texas doesn't have great gun laws. Texas has great gun culture. You know, I ain't running in a crib. I might run into some buckshot. Gun culture, education. Because Texas doesn't have the best gun laws. So what I'm saying is,
speaking about Houston, Texas, right? A dense populated city.
Mm-hmm.
And we can compare crime in a densely populated city with like black people, urban people, Spanish people, right? We can talk because Texas is segregating that way. All the Mexicans on this
over here,
side,
the blacks over here, the whites.
So you can compare the crime numbers equally amongst populations.
Uh-huh.
If you break down those numbers, and this is a place that niggas got plenty guns. Everybody know they packing. Carjackings, robberies, home invasions.
Let me agree.
Are on par with every other major densely populated city.
So one, that's not accurate. And two, I'm gonna agree with your point. Your point being that number that you said is not accurate. It's not.
Which one? Which one?
That Houston is on par with major cities in regards to violent crime. That's not true.
So let's give you.
So wait.
So let's say.
So wait.
Jackson, Mississippi. We're gonna give. So I'm a.
Hold on.
Wait. Let me agree with you first.
Let's say.
Let me agree with you first.
Miami, Florida.
Let's use all of those people.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Let's go with that. The dense populations where there's the most black folks.
Densely populated joints. And let's stick with the South for that one. So
gun control was started to stop black people from having the means to defend their life. Gun control was literally started to stop black people from having firearms to defend their life.
Black Panthers, Ronald Reagan.
But even before that, we talking about slave codes. We talking about black codes. We talking about gun control in America. Damn near is older than a fucking America.
Well, we talk about legislation. That was the first.
No, it was not.
What was the first legislation?
You got North Carolina in the late 1800s that literally changed their state constitution. It went all able-bodied men can keep and bear arms. Scratch that out and went all able-bodied white men.
Well, shit, we wasn't even.
No. What I'm saying.
That's what he's saying though.
So that's what I'm saying. So what I'm talking about is, to your point, there's a reason why those areas where gun control was created to make sure that blacks didn't participate in firearm ownership. When you don't participate in firearm ownership, you're not informed about gun culture, about safe and responsible gun culture. You're fed a mainstream media narrative that gun means bravado, false bravado, I'ma shoot a motherfucker. That's not culture, and that legislation, the negative culture associated with that is targeted to our community because we're not informed. Let me give you a stat.
Don't get it twisted. I believe gun control is racist.
It is, and that's the reason why when you see densely populated black communities that have been subject to this conditioning that owning a firearm is bad, they don't get educated about it. Then at the same time, that same government and media then tells that same community, this is all of them fucking movies. I don't care if they white, I don't care if they black. All of the movies is gonna say, if you a real man, you got a gun and you don't give a fuck. I could take you to Scarface. I could take you to motherfucking NWA. I could take you to motherfucking Boys in the Hood. I could take you to all of that conditioning. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because in Philadelphia, when we had our first classes for a year in 2016, we went in with the agenda of we're gonna cut down on violent crime. We did all of our classes before we started going on tour. All of them were in Philadelphia, across the street from the licensing unit. We dealt with safe and responsible gun ownership and conflict resolution. When the stats came out for 2016, Philadelphia's violent crime had been the lowest that it had been since 1979. Safe and responsible gun ownership, conflict resolution. You changed the culture, but the legislation that was racist didn't allow us to have a gun culture. Guns meant you the bad guy, you in the street, or you better be a cop, or maybe you came home from the military.
I believe you. I agree with you.
So those things are going together. So it's not just dense population. Those dense populations that you're picking up, you can't deny the fact that these communities have been subjected to guns are bad, not safe and responsible gun ownership. In the 90s, our communities had a problem with teen pregnancy. In them same black communities all across the country. That shit was a pandemic, right? Did we say we're not gonna fucking talk? We didn't ban teen pregnancy. We didn't create more rules. We're gonna send you to jail if you fucking get pregnant as a teen. We didn't do that. We introduced motherfucking sex education, not this bullshit that they talking about right now. That's some other shit.
So let me ask you this.
But we said we're gonna inform our people about sex ed, and then what happened with teen pregnancy rates? They declined.
With everything that you're saying, right? And I'm just kind of
in awe of the fucking.
No, I'm not in awe.
Yeah. In awe of the motherfucking facts that you getting hit with, brother.
No, not at all.
Yeah, you is. That's why it's quiet on that side, brother.
Nah.
I think
again.
I think it's a good conversation.
Let him get his shit up. Yeah, he feeling this shit. Let him go.
I like to hang people with their own words.
My man be having clips too.
I like to hang people with their own words because everything that you said about conservatism, because the beginning of the conversation and the whole point of the conversation is does conservatism help black people? Mm-hmm. So from what I've heard in this discussion, everything that we would be conserving in this current climate, as it pertains to the actual construct, and it's tangible, not in
what construct? You mean the Constitution and the Bill of Rights?
No, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, as well as we're talking about the America that is applicable to the here and now and not in its idealist, purest form.
Okay.
In its now, in its current, in its our community as a whole, with all of which we consumed, all of which you stated in that we have been degraded to.
Yes.
What is it then that we are conserving, if not the toxicity of the things that have been placed onto us? And which is why I said I don't believe that conservatism as a whole is beneficial to the black community. Do I believe that there should be components of things that we should conserve? Yeah, absolutely. To your point in which you started out earlier with naming monumental figures like Garvey, Frederick Douglass, and those people. But if we want to go to the if we want to go to the
that shit,
and that's my point, because those people were also wiped out and replaced by, quote unquote, what we talked about when you talk about Joe Biden and when we talk about the J. Edgar Hoovers, the Henry Kissingers of the world. They have introduced, as a result of removing those people, a different ideology that has set and take root into our community, where
black
people are
celebrities,
where people are not politically engaged. People do not engage what it is you're talking about. People are not aware of what it is you're talking about or what it is that you're even talking about. So when we talk about conserving anything, we need to first
clarify.
Not only do we need to clarify, we need to reestablish what it is that we are before we begin to try to conserve anything and hold on to anything that we have.
I would contend that is what conserving is. We're not talking about And I'm agreeing with you on that. I'm saying
I think it's semantics, basically.
It's not semantics. It's definitely not semantics.
No.
Because what I'm observing is that they both really are saying the same thing.
But we are to a certain extent.
I think they are.
No. What we saying is, I'm telling you where I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with y'all. What the fuck would I want to be conserving some fucking Lil Nas X shit for? Why would I? What the fuck does that actually benefit our communities? So conservatism of what we're disagreeing on, or not even disagreeing, conservatism, it is beneficial for the black community, but what the fuck are you conserving?
Yeah, and that's where I want you to come out of your purest form.
Yeah, so because
I can't.
I
can't, because I'm trying to bring them back. I'm revitalizing and I'm preserving.
Because
I got to take them back to Garvey. Because what we're missing is an education about these great figures. That's what we need to conserve and idolize.
That's what I'm going to say. So even this argument in itself becomes a surface argument, because what we don't talk about is why black people need to have guns in America in the first place. I used to be anti-gun, but then I realized something. We've gone past the point of no return in us proliferating in arms.
This is true.
If we were Canada, if we were Scandinavia, if we were a country that didn't have 3 times as many guns that we have people, we can honestly have some type of gun control and slow down violence and all that. But America,
you still think gun control will slow down violence?
America is born in violence. Like,
I love
the reason why we have so many guns, because we had an occupied population. Us as black people were an occupied population within this soil.
Can't get away from it.
We can't get away from that fact, and that fact gets lost in this argument a lot of time about gun control and us having guns.
Yep.
I came to a real realization: it's gonna be guns here. White people are fucking scared of us, and they're always gonna have guns because they fear the people that they have enslaved.
Hold on. I agree with you there. I agree with you there, but
in America,
you need to realize one thing.
Once I got to the point of understanding that,
you need to realize one thing.
How do we put a gun in every black person's hand in a sensible way? So that's why I support what you do in terms of gun.
Hold up, though. I'd like to make a point. What you just said was, you said one thing that everything else I agree with. You said white people have guns because they're scared of us. That's not true. No one is scared of us.
Yes, they are.
No one is scared.
Yes, they are.
Bro, no one is scared of us.
Why were slave patrols created?
Let me tell you something.
Why were the first militias created?
Wait, are you saying physically they're not afraid because they got guns?
I like to. Let me finish my point.
Let
me tell you something.
That's why they have guns.
Let me tell you something. Anytime a white man can smoke your ass, and all niggas do, the most they gonna do is run up to your house with signs like,
yeah, I ain't scared of that. If that's all I had to deal with, I ain't scared.
What do they have backing them?
I want to put this in perspective.
What do they have backing them?
An army that they use to conquer all other nations.
Hold up.
It's guns.
This is what I want to say.
Times multiplied.
Hold up.
It multiplies to
this is what I want to say.
A plane, a tank, a sub. They have all.
You know why?
Guns.
No, you're not talking about. Are you talking about individual citizens, or are you talking about the government?
He's talking about America. He said if white people weren't afraid of
hold the fuck up. Let me finish my goddamn point.
Let him.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You said it.
No, I didn't say it. I didn't say shit yet.
Go ahead.
White people are not getting guns because they're scared of black people.
I agree.
We're just too ignorant to know why they're getting guns. White people are getting guns because they can see what the fucking government is doing.
That's
why they're getting guns.
I legit was gonna ask you, your association with black people being armed is based on what white people doing.
It's not.
All right, but look,
it's not.
That's why I said I was gonna ask.
It's not.
Me buying guns, I'm not buying guns. I got hundreds of fucking guns. I don't go nowhere without a fucking gun. I don't give a fuck about an unconstitutional statute. I'm not doing it because I'm like, oh, I'm in DC. It's gonna be fucking scary down there. No. I'm getting guns because that, and I do not trust the fucking government. Yeah. I buy the guns for the same reason most of my white homies buy guns. It's, hey man, I don't know how to talk to your black community, but your black community better get some motherfucking guns. This government is trying to fucking they was already fucking y'all. They're about to fuck us next, bro.
So I want to put this in perspective.
But I feel like that's a popular narrative that came about within our our generation.
You feel like it, but that shit ain't the truth.
The last 20 to 50 years.
Hold on. No, America was built on limited government. The motherfucking criminals, aka the founding fathers, was like, yo, bro, fuck governments. Government is shitty. We don't fucking trust them. Have fucking guns. First, it was like, yo, this shit gonna be lit. First, you get to say what the fuck you want to say. Second, you get to have guns to defend what the fuck you just said. They was like, yo, fuck government. They was the fucking rebels.
It's the reason why gun laws aren't applied equally to black people and white people in America. It's a reason.
I have a concealed carry in Washington D.C. No one told me, hey man, you can't get your concealed carry because you're black.
The letter of the law, but how the law will be enforced against you.
Yo,
differently.
The first nigga, hold up.
What do you mean?
The first person to shoot somebody.
No, what you're seeing time and time again is when media highlights the one that they can spin a narrative with. But I can't go with.
But I also understand
because that argument,
the ones that are
argument
filmed,
is
that means it's 10 of them that weren't filmed.
That's what you're saying, and that's not. That's listen to me.
That has been true in the black community in terms
when we're talking about
violence
statistics,
black people, whooping their ass off camera, planting drugs on them.
How many? Wait, let me.
They attack the police.
How many?
All things dealing with the criminal justice system.
Do you know who? Wait.
10 of them happened that weren't.
Wait.
It's more likely.
Do you know who Duncan
Limp is?
Do you know who Duncan Limp is?
More than.
No, ask the man one question. Is that a reason? Is that a reason not to follow the law and lawfully go get a gun? Is that a reason? Or is it
I'm not saying you're wrong for that. I'm just saying the letter of the law is
I walk around with my gun all the time.
No, listen to me. What I'm sharing with you is that is factually inaccurate. That's a media narrative. I'll give you an example. I gave you the stand your ground numbers, which you're gracious
which I disagree with. So
you can disagree with the
numbers?
truth, but that's the truth. That's facts.
So you can use numbers to spin a narrative. If there are more white people in America, even if I say
you can't go back on the gracious number that you gave me that I agreed to.
I'm pushing back to what you just said. You said I gave you the statistics. I don't agree with your statistics.
No, listen to me. It ain't my statistics. So listen. What I'm sharing with you is you can read again, like you told the people.
I'm familiar with the number. I'm familiar with stand your ground. I'm familiar.
I'm also speaking about how many people, what ethnic group in America, and you're going to say, oh, it's because there's more white people, right? What ethnic group in America are murdered by police more than any other ethnic group?
White people. Because there's more of them.
So
they have more. Wait. Hold on. Stop. How many more police interactions do they have than us?
Less. No. Wait. Excuse me. It's more of them.
So they're gonna have exponentially more police interactions.
They don't.
It's nobody.
Well, you can't say that and then say black people are over policed disproportionately more than everybody else. But those two fucking things don't go together.
Yes, you can say that.
If we're over policed, but they killed more.
Let me know when you finish.
Okay, I will. We're over policed and controlled and patrolled. I'm agreeing with that. But then at the same time, somehow they're killed more. And I'm not listen. White folks, white guys, welcome to the party. You getting fucked over now too, right? So this ain't like a defend white folks argument. Let me be clear about that. But what I'm talking about in the numbers in regards to self-defensive gun usages annually, there's millions of self-defensive gun usages annually, millions. There's 30 to 40,000 deaths in regards to firearms annually. 30 to 40,000 deaths, 60% of those are fucking suicides, right? But then you got millions of times annually that people, a big chunk of that black people using that firearm.
You're dancing away from your original numbers, though.
I'm bringing more perspective.
You backpedaling like a motherfucker.
I'm not backpedaling.
Yeah, you are.
What I'm sharing with you is your argument that this thing is not being. I'm not saying that it's all the way righteous. Let me be clear. On that.
You kind of was a little bit.
That's why I'm doubling down and clarifying.
Okay.
What I am saying is, I think that some of the things that you're talking about isn't the numbers. You're talking about how media highlights the shit.
No, he's talking about per capita. For example, to his point, let's take, since y'all want to just
since y'all want to.
No, since y'all just want to take numbers, right?
With your little stats and shit.
We got numbers too, nigga.
Let's say you got 500,000 black people.
Okay.
Right? You're making the argument that because white people are also shot or harmed at the same rate, if not more, when you're talking about a population of, say, 5 million. the point is that when you talk about things in a per capita basis, you're talking about the concentration of it.
I can understand.
Now, if you're taking 300,000 or 400,000 versus 300,000 of 4 million, that's a completely different conversation. That's the conversation and the argument that he's trying to argue. No, that's the argument. That's the argument that needs to be had, because when you're talking about population and when you're talking about, again, you're making an argument about conserving. If we are going to conserve, and if we are going to acknowledge that the people in the infrastructure that we're working within actually is using everything that you're talking about to keep and conserve those things in place, which is why we made the initial argument that yes, Joe Biden is a conservative in the same way that Mitch McConnell is a conservative. One of those people are just more honest and frank. The problem is that both of those people are going to conserve the positionality of that 300,000.
I agree with that.
They're going to conserve that.
I agree with that.
But that allows them to move in and out.
But this is where I agree. This is where I'm. And again, I understand what it is.
Joe Biden ain't gonna pop off and be like, you know what, I was wrong. Let's do things that
he's never
release
gonna do
these
that.
nonviolent
But I'm not
offenders.
talking about Joe Biden. I'm talking about me, you, and the men in this room in terms of helping us, because that's what the fuck matters. We know that they're not gonna come save us.
100%.
Right? What I am advocating is that you not move in an idealist view of conservatism because it is naive.
I'm not.
And it don't exist.
I'm not.
Your version of conservatism
it's not my version. No. It's not my version. Y'all are ascribing something that I'm saying it's my version. I'm going by the actual definition of the word.
I understand
and that's not idealism. Idealism is some other shit. And number one, we're talking about
it feels very idealistic,
it feels. I ain't dealing with y'all feelings. I don't give a fuck about y'all feelings.
I live in America.
I give about the actual facts of the matter.
I live in America. So a lot of ideas, like what should happen, don't fucking happen.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't deal with feelings. Nobody gives a fuck about feelings. Nobody gives a fuck about people. I view people as spreadsheets. I've been trained to view people as spreadsheets, and that's all. People say play the game. People don't understand that the game is your fucking life. Nigga.
Right.
So when I say that,
damn, this is a good conversation.
Not
I love
actually
this,
being idealistic is not saying that that having a purist view of the word in itself is problematic. It's the same thing I tell the motherfuckers in my party. Don't be so happy or so blind to what it is, and I'm gonna move it away from conservatism for just 1 second to make a point. They get so down ho on the GOP, the big bad boogeyman, the GOP, the big bad boogeyman. But like we have acknowledged here, both sides have perverted not only institutions, whether it be academia, whether it be journalists, whether it be goddamn government.
Right.
All of it is perverted. And not only are those things perverted, the rhetoric is perverted, because we are able to have conversations around the fact that trans women are women. We have to understand how those narratives shape and create policy, and we have to also acknowledge that not just the Democratic Party and bad faith actors have done that, but the people, the electorate themselves have argued their dumbasses into that situation, because it was women who said that trans women were women. It wasn't everybody. We have to understand that there's people out here talking about vaccinated versus unvaccinated. So what I am telling you is that the rhetoric, the rhetorical speech is also perverted. When we assess the rhetoric and the words that we're using, I respect it in its purest form. I wish that academia was academia when it was just
journalism was journalism.
When it was just having political debate and thought of ideas.
Right.
But we know that they're co-opted. Academia isn't about indoctrination. The reason I don't go back into those spaces is because safe spaces are a joke. It's because all of the political correctness have created echo chambers on both sides that have been allowed to
Let me give you your props real quick.
Yeah.
I gotta play my Drake joint for you.
Fuck it,
My Drake
My
joint.
man is on one.
fuck it,
Listen, I'm agreeing with what you're saying.
That's the only thing I am saying in terms of
Jesus.
I want you
agree.
to come to my side and become a noble savage.
No,
And then,
hold on.
Hold on. He left it right at the rim, right? Because what?
Hold up.
He
left it where? He left it right at the rim. I'm
Because I
sorry.
argue with him on a weekly basis, right?
Of course.
He takes a lot of things from that right wing echo chamber.
Whoa,
He'll
whoa,
drop
whoa,
it like,
whoa,
yeah,
whoa.
that's
No, I
that
don't.
On that. And I'm like, hold on, champ. It's the
Hold up,
numbers
dog.
behind that
So-
really
Why you
matter.
coming for me?
So let me say this. Let's go back to the original question.
Chop that motherfucking head.
Let's go to the original question. The question was not, is conservatism as it's currently being applied by the electorate, is that what conservatism actually is? That's not what the question was. The question was, is conservatism good and viable for black folk? Yes. I'm not talking about, like when someone says, hey, are you a free market capitalist? Absolutely I am. I'm about free market enterprise.
Laissez-faire?
Hands off government. Right? Now,
You're a dangerous man.
but here's the twist. What's being presented ain't free market enterprise and capitalism.
It very well is.
It's fucking crony capitalism.
No, and that's free market. It's
No.
whatever I say it is.
The
free market means I get to say if I come in your house and kill you,
That's
and
not
rape
what
your
free
people,
market.
It is that.
That's not what free market enterprise
That's where
means.
the idealism goes apart.
You
Because
got
if I come
it
in
ain't
your house
idealism,
and rape
brother.
your
You
motherfucking people, it's what I say it
gotta
is.
get on the libertarian. Where you want me to come on your side to be noble savage, you gotta get understand some Austrian economics, some libertarian principles.
Look.
What's being presented?
The Chicago
I'll let you
boys
go.
run this.
I'll let you go.
The
Let me
Chicago
go.
boys run this. This is their
I'll let you go.
This is their economic capital.
No, it's not. This is crony capitalism. When I'll give you an example.
So the Chicago Institute.
No,
don't run the
wait.
economic
Let me finish.
infrastructure?
Let me finish. When a government is involved in the market to the extent where they tell businesses when you can open, that's not free market. That's not free market. Wait. When you get in a space where government is buying contracts and leaning people out, and contracts go to maybe an Amazon because they got something greased on the back end from some of them, you know what I mean? That's not free market. That's not letting the market do its thing. That's cronyism.
No, that's all elements of a free market system. Black people,
No,
black bodies. Hold on, black bodies were once a part of the American free market. Actually, not. They're still a part of the American free market system. Via prison.
Y'all gotta let me go. Y'all gotta let me go.
No, we let you go.
No, you didn't. You cut me
just
off.
said the same thing
You
three
cut me
times.
off, brother.
So
Just let the man finish.
You gotta let me finish.
Black
You
bodies.
gotta let me finish.
Hold on, let the man finish.
Cause I don't want to get argued. I want to get the point. I don't want y'all to get caught
Go
in
ahead.
the
Go ahead.
semantics of it.
I'm not even on a semantics.
So-
Government
so-
co-opted
so-
by capital.
so here's
it
the
falls into
question.
laissez-faire.
So there wasn't our folks over in Ghana, the Somali, the fucking Songhai empires. They weren't enterprising and dealing and exercising their right to whatever to capitalize on.
I
the
will
things
say
that they-
this. I know at least me and him, we not with that African shit.
No. I'm not
We know
saying,
what they did.
I'm not saying African in the sense of, I'm saying the ability to something being presented as one thing can have a bastardized version. That's my point that I'm saying in that
I would
space.
agree, 100%.
So what I'm saying to you is, for me, when the question was, hey,
We're good.
when the question is that definition, because we got to clarify that definition of what you mean by conservatism. I want to conserve the nuclear family for black folk. That's beneficial for black folk. I want to conserve business and hard work ethic and a spiritual guiding principle. I want to conserve those principles, and I absolutely know that those things are beneficial for black folk. Not because I feel that way, but because of when we were applying that, before we started sliding off into some of this, some might identify as so-called liberal ideology, right? We had more land, owned more businesses, and our marriages and our families were staying together longer.
80%.
So when the original question was, is conservatism under, I think the clarification can be, well, what are you actually conserving? If we're talking about conserving policies that are economically reckless, policies that do not benefit black community and black community businesses, if we're talking about conserving things and are we making some money but government giving it to us and we conserving welfare for black folks, no, that type of conserving, that is not going to be good for black people. It's not. So I think the clarification here, because my answer is based on the actual definition, not what's being perceived or presented as the definition now. Classic liberals was about freedom. That word got co-opted. The motherfucking rainbow, that motherfucking rainbow used to be about happiness and colors and shit. That shit means, hey, I'm gay happy here. That got co-opted. When we don't stick to the original definition and hold people to those standards of that definition, we lose it.
Unfortunately.
Hold on. Can I just say one thing?
Ain't none of this shit getting recorded.
It's being recorded.
Oh, all right.
I agree with everything you absolutely said, but I want to take and help you understand. You're arguing against yourself, good sir.
No, I'm not.
Just listen. I agree with upholding all of those things. But
And you agree that conservatism is good for the black community?
But see,
what we're conserving.
where you fundamentally mess up. It's on two things. You want to extract
the actual definition.
No, you want to extract people, the uncontrollable variable in why governance exists in the first place. And two, you got up here and you talked about endorsing laissez-faire capitalism. When you sit up here and talk about what it is you want to...
Hands off. I don't want government involved.
You want to talk about pure definitions and conserving all of these things? Sir...
Yeah, I want to I explain
when you talk
what
about,
I want to conserve.
When you talk about laissez-faire, there is no regulations.
I don't want government regulating that. We overregulated the fuck now.
I hear you, but when you talk about no government regulations, understand that policy is the actual incentivization of behavior and decentivization of it.
I can agree with that.
When you say you want to deregulate, when you sit up here and talk about conserving things and talking about purity, as a person who is trained and just watches these people up close, I don't give a fuck about what you gotta say or what you think the word is. I will make.
I ain't thinking about what the. I'm talking about the actual definition.
I will
it
make.
Ain't what I think.
But see, look,
it's what the actual word means.
This is what you're
Where we
missing.
disagreeing is
I
on
will
the
make
fact that
man, woman, and woman, man. If it's I'm the fucking king. If I conquer you,
that's not what I'm advocating for. You're advocating for tyranny. No, that's not what I said.
Laissez-faire is that.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not. That's your version of it,
if
and you're wrong.
The money, who gonna check me?
So let's go with that. Let's go with it. I got money. Who gonna check me? Let's go with that ideology.
Let him go. This is good.
If your position is I got money, who gonna check me?
Who gonna fucking check me? If Jeff Bezos wanted to come in here and gut everybody right motherfucking now, he would. He'd rape fucking Congress and everybody sitting up there right now. You wanna know why?
Because your liberal Democrats allow it. Because your liberal Democrats allow it. But that ain't laissez-faire. That's cronyism.
He bought them.
It's
up to him.
No, it's not, brother.
It's capital. He bought them.
You're mixing two things.
He bought them. Slavery is laissez-faire capitalism. Because we owned you niggas. You niggas are
no. That's your view and you wrong. You wrong and you emotional about it.
So hold on.
You seeing it from the perspective. Wait.
Was slavery not a money move?
You seeing it from
the slavery not a money move?
It was.
I owe you. Shut the fuck up.
No. No. Let me stop you right there. You saying it as if You discounting the hundreds of thousands. You talking it from the just only the people that fucking succumbed to the slavery. You don't give a fuck about people.
I do, but I'm telling you the problem with your logic.
And you actually look at that shit from a weak fucking victim mindset.
Okay.
You disrespectful to the fucking Harriet Tubmans, to the Malcolms, to the fucking goddamn Nat Turners. Cause I don't give a fuck about your money. I'll still shoot the shit out you.
So
and that's the
problem,
part. Wait,
though. They got more guns and they got more
no, but
money.
that's a coward mentality.
I'm not saying.
Die on your motherfucking feet, brother.
Hold on.
Die on your feet.
Hold on.
Die on your feet.
Hold on.
Laws ain't fair. If you endorsing laws ain't fair, you endorsing.
No, I ain't.
So hold on.
This is a chicken and egg argument.
It's not a chicken and egg argument. The America was born in free market capitalism, right?
You can do what you want.
So you have to understand.
And if you want to make me a slave, I have the ability to say fuck you. I'm not gonna make you a slave. Or say, matter of fact, since you came to me with that slavery shit, how about I make you my bitch?
Let me finish. But hold on, no.
That victim shit.
No.
That victim shit. Nah.
Bodies,
I'm not with that weak shit.
Black bodies were a part of American capitalism. American capitalism cannot function without a permanent underclass.
But the
form of capitalism that you want to conserve cannot function.
That's
without
not true.
A permanent
You're telling me the form of capitalism that I want to conserve, and that's wrong. You're isolating it to this American cronyism, morally repugnant shit.
So when you're talking about free market, the free market is backed by an army. The reason why we can go to countries and overthrow governments, that's related to our economy. We were in Iraq for oil. That's economic.
Wait.
So we was for poppy seeds.
So where they at now? Where they at now? The fucking people of Afghanistan said, "Fuck you," when we gonna fight.
That's a part of exploit their people. They about to bring them over here and exploit them for labor.
When we fought against,
do y'all train?
When we fought against communism, hold on, no, we not about to diverge this argument because
it ain't a diverge.
No, we gonna stick in this wheelhouse that you.
Let's rumble it.
Trying to jump off this.
No, we ain't rumbling. We talking about.
No, you trying to jump off.
No, y'all trying to reposition what the words actually mean.
We're talking about. Let me finish it. We're talking about American capitalism.
It's not what you asked me. It's not what the original question was.
The original question is, can
conservatism benefit black people?
So ultimately, it cannot benefit black
You're
people
wrong.
Because American capitalism is born.
You didn't say American capitalism. You didn't say American capitalism.
They're inexplicably attached
wrong.
in America.
So conserving a value system only existed in America.
Just like you can't.
No, that's not what we.
Right. That's my point.
Everybody calm down. Listen. I've muted everyone. Everybody stop talking. I've muted everyone.
Why are you doing that?
Because we got to bring some order here. We have to bring order. Calm down. Everybody's cooking. He's cooking, and you're cooking. Calm, everybody.
I don't think it's. He was cooking. I don't know what the fuck this even.
Dog. Everybody is cooking at the same time.
It was working.
Listen, guys. I'm going to turn everyone's mics on, but y'all gotta chill the fuck out. Listen. Listen, I'd like to say something to everyone, and once I say it, I'm gonna turn everyone's mics on, and y'all niggas can go haywire again. This is what I have to say. I mean, fuck. I'm paying for this shit. So listen to me, goddammit. I just want to say one thing. Guys, what you're saying is correct, and what you're saying is correct. Both of you guys have flaws in what you're saying. Why? Free market capitalism is great, and you're correct. It opens the door for mob rule or whatever. Whoever has the most money basically becomes the dictator, right? But the same thing is also true. Free market capitalism is on the low right now, and liberalism is on the high, and people are getting fucked. The bottom line is, The bottom line is, when the government isn't checked by the people, no matter which side has the leverage, it's going to be fucked up. Because when the liberals get their way, we're turning into China. When the capitalists get their way, everybody has to bow down to Bezos, like you said. Perfect example. I'm going to turn the mics on now.
I'm gonna tell you why that's bullshit. Because the liberals are the only one talking about breaking up big tech.
Yeah, but
so hold on. So by your logic, that means
they're
nothing,
breaking up big tech and forcing you to take a shot that you don't want.
See how you just switched the argument from
No.
He's
He's just saying. No, he's just
giving you. I'm giving you both sides of the picture.
No, we were talking about economics, and you said, "Oh, if the people."
Well, the shot is economics.
No, we're talking about
the shot is all about economics because Pfizer and Moderna are paying everyone to take this bullshit.
I don't think they're paying people.
It works both ways.
No, I think the world economy got shut down.
No, that's exactly why.
No, they getting
Big
paid.
Pharma and Joe Biden is in big part the
Disagree.
Jim Clyburn.
Disagree.
I agree with that.
That's
but that's
true.
also why I am a proponent of not having laissez-faire in the context of the fact that when we talk about the Gilded Ages of America, when we talk about the Roaring 20s, when we talk about slavery, when we talk about people who were able to extract so much wealth and exploit labor at a rate in which nobody else in this nation, in this world can exploit at the rate at, that is the pivotal
I'm agreeing with
actual difference in saying in America, you cannot allow it because it's the same families that have been there since, to your point, the 1800s.
I feel you.
You say their name.
No.
For in layman's terms, the writing's on the fucking wall.
I feel that.
What's going to happen if it gets deregulated? It's the writing's on the wall.
No. That portion.
But it's already deregulated.
But look.
I would agree.
No, to that.
It's deregulated, but it's not deregulated.
Right.
They're paying the government not to deregulate shit so they can be deregulated.
I want to regulate so that we can get
only people who are
what we in essence talking about is what we in essence talking about is so somebody like me in a space where I say, hey, limited government, hands off government. I want as little interaction with the market as possible from the government, right? Me saying that as a righteous person is like, nah, man, let everybody eat. Don't be getting in with that crony bullshit to enrich your homies. That's my mentality. To your point,
I agree.
To your point, it'll be, yeah, Maj, but
as soon as everybody gets rich,
yeah, that motherfucker ain't on with the way on it that you want it. So to that point,
we gotta stabilize it before we can get to that point.
Now,
while you're ideologically pure, the majority of motherfuckers who identify with conservatism in this country are not.
I can't say the majority.
But hold up, so are the people who identify with liberalism.
That's why I said the perversion of all
government. You're right.
Yeah. All institutions.
So that wasn't me saying they are 100% pure. We're just talking about conservative. Conservatism.
No, but what I'm saying to you is that's where the fundamental disagreement is. I'm saying my viewpoint is based on the actual, because the question is two parts.
I can respect that.
Is black folks, if we conservative, whether that's morally, fiscally, right?
Yeah.
Nuclear family. Those are the values that what conservatism is actually about. Your point is, yeah, but these motherfuckers, Joe Biden and them niggas is conservative. They're conserving some shit that ain't.
So we've agreed with you the whole time in terms of what the letter of the definition should be, but we understand
or what it is and how it's being. To your point of how it's being applied.
But we also live in America, and we've seen that attachment or that purity does not exist.
And so
if you have if you have the power, bread, and position,
you
have the power to bend that reality.
But let me blow your mind.
Whatever your.
But look,
you want to bend it the other way. You want to swing the pendulum.
I'm saying.
Hold on. Did you hear what you just said?
What I said?
It's raining man.
You said, let me blow your mind.
Pause. So look, I'm saying.
Oh, you got the button.
When it comes to black folks, if we apply this definition, I think this is a great. First of all, I love this motherfucking conversation, right? I'm saying for black folks, if we did that Wakanda shit, Wakanda was conservative as hell. We good. We got this. We gonna work on our little bubble.
The rules are the rules.
We gonna work on our community. We don't know everybody out there, but we got to build this. To me, that fits the definition of conservatism.
What did Wakanda have that
Vibranium.
they were able to enforce
Resource.
their ability to live that way? What
So-
did they have that we don't have?
Resources.
Resources.
Wait. No. You can't
And
say
an army.
You can't say. Wait,
And
one.
magic.
You can't say that black people don't have resources.
We ain't got
It's
no fucking army.
No. Wait,
That's
wait,
real
wait,
resources.
wait.
A
Well,
plane,
that's
a tank.
I'm gonna
a
go
bomb.
buy.
That's real resources.
I'm going to go. Wait. I'm
Wakanda
going to
didn't
go
have an
I
buy.
have money to buy some
Wakanda
Jordan.
had
or a
bitches.
house.
Wait.
Wakanda
What
had
about
bald
to raise
head-
the standing
wait.
army?
I'm
That's
going-
real resources.
I'm going to go buy a tank next month. Me, individually.
That's one motherfucking tank.
No, but wait, you can't move the goalposts.
That's the-
Wait, listen to me. Hear me when I
It's
say
all
this.
relative.
They in
That's
the
what I'm
army
saying.
that you
Relative.
got a tank.
What I'm
you
saying.
a nigga with a tank.
Listen to me. Listen what I'm saying. You can't say that we collectively don't have resources. The reason why those communities, those other communities set up shop in our community is because we actually do have
No, this is
resources.
patently false.
Who don't have resources?
Super
We only
false.
have
We do
Black
have
people's
come on,
net,
bro,
you know
let's
the
stop it.
collective net worth of real black people?
We have 1 trillion of $26 trillion of America.
Okay, so wait. So
Let's
wait.
swing this ball
And
on.
a lot of
This is wheelhouse.
So
Let
to
me
say,
throw that alley to him over
So
there
to
for that.
say that $1 trillion is not a collective resource.
But again, you're removing it from the actual context of, again, for example, right? What I said.
1 trillion
Wait,
versus
hold on.
26.
What I said the other day, right?
I'm not saying that I'm not saying 1 trillion.
I get where you're going.
What I'm saying
Because-
is, I'm saying because the question was, if we're conserving what little, let's word it this way.
Mm-hmm.
If we're conserving what little resources we have in the bigger context and keep that dollar spending in our
that's not
community,
how economies work. And the reason that I say
that is how
again,
economies work. The Jewish dollar stay in the Jewish community for how long?
sir,
in comparison
they're
to the
white
black
when
dollar.
they come to America.
I'll say this. He's right, because if you actually look at the demographics, right, and you actually look at what black people actually have, right? So it's not 1 trillion. It's 4 trillion out of 115, which is still pretty much the same thing.
And I was just talking about consumer goods.
What I'm saying is,
but-
when we tie that into the
But
overall
hold on,
question,
no. I would like to speak on that because he is right. The $4 trillion that is allegedly circulating through our community, most of it's tied up. And
some bullshit.
No. It's. I mean, these are Federal Reserve numbers.
Yeah, it's not
right?
bullshit.
No. I mean the money tied up in.
With-
Pensions.
When it
that's
all
what I
boils
mean,
down
it's
to
some
it,
bullshit, yeah.
when it all boils down to it, the median black family is only worth $1,700.
No.
$1,700.
So you're talking about the median
As opposed to the median white family, which isn't even at the top,
Indians
at
or Asians.
120,000. Yeah.
And the reason that I'm only saying that is because when we talk about, I
it's
hear a lot of
difficult to
people
say
talk
what we
about
should spend our
building
money on.
nations, right? Understand, like I tell people, we're in America. Always keep that in context. We're talking about the same America that we've been in. That again, all of those people that you name dropped that got dusted off the face of the planet, we're in that same America, right? So I put a post up the other day. And I said, I get crucified for saying that we should keep the monuments up and the statues up for all of the racist people.
Yep.
You wanna know why? Because we live in a nation that is more than happy to act like what did happen never happened.
Right.
With that being said, if you build and try to build a nation state within an actual nation that is hostile to your group collectively, you have to be armed and prepared and have so many other resources in response to that. And the reason why I say that
human history has taught us that.
and the
Agreed,
reason why I say that
100%.
is a very precarious situation to put most people in, because you're talking about a group of people who, again, even when we talk about the dollar matriculating through the community, when we talk about supply chains, even black businesses, when we talk about business to business consumerism, those actual companies are going to be more so than not white institutions. When we talk about the whole supply chain, we are going to be at the actual salesperson end of it. And I just caution people when we talk about building a nation state within a state, because I'm for it. But the problem that I have with it is because whether it be GOP, whether it be Republican, conservative, liberal, everybody want to talk about how radical I am. I'm Mr. Radical. I'm Mr. Oh, I can't talk to you out in the open because I can't be seen with you because you're radical. So, on one hand, we have a group of people who can't even start watching football after Colin Kaepernick got denounced by a white institution. We can't stop supporting all of these institutions that have come out that have disrespected us openly.
Gucci.
But we're trying to build a nation state within a nation.
To me, that's the reason why I believe that neglect becomes our ally, and that's the reason why we have to use some more conservative principles to get small to make room for it all. I like the hostile nature of the 40-something, Black Wall Streets, Tulsa, fucking Rosewood. Those came out of like, they don't fuck with us. We got to do for self. You know what I'm saying? So to me,
you gotta be prepared for your
you got to be prepared. Garvey was building hat factories. Harriet Tubman had a fucking nurse brigade. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I'm saying is, to me, those are conservative principles. So again, going back to the original question, in the space of where we at right now, it becomes like, yeah, it's a lot of money floating around this motherfucker. You motherfuckers ain't conserving none of it. Or you generating that $4 trillion, but you giving it the fuck away. And if a chunk of that tied up in the bullshit and the pensions, man, get that shit out. Get that shit working in your motherfucking community.
But that's why we're talking about that.
That's why I'm saying, to me, that's what I mean when I say conservative. That's why I use the Wakanda example.
That's why we had a problem with idealism. Because ideally, that would be the best situation for Black people in America. And all the people you named, they had to enforce those idealistic principles by force.
No, they didn't.
Via the Nation of Islam, via Harriet Tubman, via Marcus Garvey. They all enforced those principles by force. They had to force niggas to understand that.
Garvey didn't. Harriet did when she was like, "You a bitch, motherfucker. You gotta go." Right?
Malcolm enforced about.
Malcolm didn't enforce it by force. The
fear of the Nation of Islam is that it wasn't just rhetoric. They had people power. They had people power to be able to move and do things.
Yeah.
So while we're saying idealistically that would be great for Black people, but right now we do not have the resources, power, or force to be able to separate that type of conservatism
that part I agree.
What conservatism is inexplicably tied to in America right now. That's
the second part of what y'all saying.
Laissez-faire capitalism, free market capitalism, racism, and Christianity. We don't have the wherewithal to deal with
either side.
So that's why for me,
we don't have the wherewithal to deal with either side.
My thing is, and I felt like Trump and Biden's election was a golden opportunity to let white fight against white and tank this bitch. Cause see, even though being a registered Democrat, part of me was hoping that Donald Trump won because I thought that because Trump who he was, you had forces inside of government and the intelligence community sabotaging the government itself. And I was hoping for the implosion so that we could, like you said, then pounce.
We could just
create the argument because we have power in that way.
It's happening under Biden now, though.
And under Trump administration, the deep state versus the entrenched financial positions, they were at super.
And let me say this as a Democrat.
Right now, they're back. They back lockstep.
I get what you're saying in the sense of
fan. One thing, and I told people this in private, right? I don't think I've ever said it out in public yet. I was hoping Trump won because the benefit of Trump being in office was that the masses were able to unify in a way that I've never seen before against actual government because of the vitriol for Trump. The fear that I had for Joe Biden taking office was that I didn't know whether it was going to be self-censorship, corporate censorship, or censorship by the government, or a combination of all of those. And right now, I'm seeing that it is a combination of all of those because, unfortunately, in liberal institutions, which is again why I'm not for academia, journalism, free Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, who's still on the run due to Obama, Joe Biden.
You about to lose your job, brother.
It's fine. I've been saying
This
on
nigga don't give a fuck.
He don't give a fuck.
I've been
He
saying
clearly
on my
don't give a fuck.
podcast since forever,
Right, he
and
don't
so
give a
what
fuck.
it
Right.
is what it is. If
Right.
I don't have a job,
Right.
what
Fuck
I
it.
know and what I've seen is coming,
Right.
money
The
ain't
job
gonna mean
ain't
a
gonna
lot.
be the thing. Right.
Y'all niggas
But-
saying the same thing.
but
But I get it.
Nah,
It's
I get
semantics. I get it.
It ain't semantics.
Nah,
It's
it
I,
really
I don't
is.
know what word we
Nah,
can use
it's that-
instead of semantics.
No, it's that, but it's positionality.
I think it's ideologue versus reality. Like if I could live in the reality that you
I'm not saying
I would love to. But I live in his reality.
No, but this is what I'm saying.
That's the
I'm
difference.
not saying because I'm just answering again.
Yeah.
As a wordsmith, I'm answering the straight question. I'm not of the thought process that if I go outside as a Second Amendment dude, as the black dude with the tattoos and the locks and all that other shit, that they're gonna be like, oh, respect his Second Amendment rights the same. I'm not at that point where I'm not fucking delusional. What I'm saying is, I'm just answering the question at hand.
Yeah, he's answering the question, and I'm just trying to. I'm all about moving the needle and trying to get everybody in a space that is of the time, of the moment, whether that be my enemies or whether that be my allies. I tell people who I work with all day, every day, the same thing. Tinkering around the edges when it comes to policy is not meeting the moment. When it comes to our board elected officials, the policies and the things that you're doing are good, but they're not meeting the moment. And what I need people to do is be in and accept the moment, not where we want to project it to be. I tell people in my family, talk to me not about what you want the world to be, but what the world is. I have to get both are important, but the emphasis, unfortunately, from the people that we are dealing with, because we have to solve the problem of people and behavior first, which can actually move the ball, because the problem that we're having is we have a huge mass of people who stuck in anti-intellectualism and just following and just being in the space that allows us, because I move in a space, the reason why it's crony capitalism, bro, is because it's super incestual, because it's 10, 20 people doing the work.
DJ.
And I guarantee you that people 40 that I'm gonna give up on you Negroes, because Devon, you have too much talent to be wasted on those dead niggas.
Slow down.
Because-
Let me get it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Because unfortunately, people, I see how the coon is created. I see
Right.
how the sellout is created. Because over time, you say to yourself, God damn,
What the fuck?
how do I fight? I always say to people, I'm stuck in political limbo. Like you just said, I told a panel the other day, the reason why I remain active and visible is because I fear for my life every day, because people know that I know, and they know that I've been in certain conversations,
Right.
and they understand that I understand at a certain level, and I
Right.
had it at 25 and I'm 31 and I'm that much more fine-tuned in what I know and what I've seen.
And that becomes a threat.
And that becomes a threat. So, with that being said,
Stay down.
my thing is getting people, more people. My whole project is around getting more people. Fuck the people. The people who've been in DC, moving DC, gonna be the people who move
They
in
there.
DC.
They there.
And the reason why I tell people, even when it come to arguments around statehood, people need to think, because you open up a floodgate. Because the narrative is they want to paint it as local elected.
I want to stop you right there.
But you got the Val Demings and the Obamas, the Michelle Obamas,
For sure.
who can all hop in that race, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I'm gonna stop you right there because I want to talk about one more thing before we shut this down.
Absolutely.
Jim Crow Joe is under some heat right now. Not really heat because it's only niggas, so ain't no heat.
Shit. Damn.
It's getting hot for him.
Yeah, sure. Listen, shit.
It's the club.
Nah, we good.
All right.
So I'll start off with my opinion because y'all niggas are crazy. The Haitian Revolution 2.0.
Oh shit.
Oh, he coming out.
Oh shit.
Gunshots.
This is what happens when the Remy this the Remy and the Henny mix.
When the Remy's in my system, ain't no telling will I hit or will I diss him. That's
What they be yelling about
Listen.
no relation.
So listen, I posted something on my Facebook the other day. They got a little traction. You know, I ain't nobody. But I posted the fact that Joe Biden was all about immigration and all about, you know, you're not black, you don't vote for me. So some Haitians came, was it 15,000 of them, miraculously turned up in Texas.
How the fuck that happened?
I don't even want to go there because that's a whole other conversation.
Skip Florida.
The
Fuck
niggas
Florida.
turned up in Texas. Somehow, some way, they gonna make it about this hood anyway. Shout out to Philly, right? I swear Beanie Siegel was out there.
Damn.
But no. So,
They came through Mexico, y'all.
There was a swarm
That's how
of-
they got the
sure.
They came through Mexico.
Because Mexicans were Haitians. So them niggas popped up in Texas, right? So what I found interesting was the fact that the Biden administration didn't have such nice actions towards these people. But that's not even my gripe. My gripe is the way that this is being spun, right? While I acknowledge that the fact that these people were turned away is because they're black, duh, right? What I don't like is how they're trying to relate this to black Americans. This doesn't have shit to do with slavery.
Nothing.
This doesn't have anything to do with the way we're treated in America at all. Now, while I understand Mexicans are brought into America at greater numbers, as a matter of fact, I don't want to generalize the Latin Americans, 75% of the undocumented immigrants in America. Caribbeans, 3%. Africans, 4%. So my position is that immigration is not even our issue. But I find it interesting how they're trying to compare people who willingly came to a country that they know is racist, quote unquote, and got sent out. They compare it to people who were brought over here unwillingly, and some of us who were already here, put in chains. And my question to the panel is this: what are they really trying to do with this situation? Is this really about Haitians being treated wrong? Or is this about black Americans once again getting tricked into issues in politics that don't even really benefit them? No. I'm gonna start with the nigga that's hot right now. Go ahead.
I think it's a bit of both. Because on one hand, you do have, unfortunately, the issue of we lend our social and political capital to every
Everyone.
single issue and every single body of people. And again, I have nothing against the Haitians. Please do not misunderstand me for that at all. But at the same time, whether it be the Afghanis, whether it be the Latin Americans, whether it be Afghanis, we have to get out of the habit of lending our resources, whether they be policy-wise, whether they be economic, to not bring people into a situation, not one, like you said, that is already a racist infrastructure. Because when we talk about American foreign policy, we have to understand that all of the people coming over here are destabilized. And to your point, when we talk about the immigrant population, the only reason that I am apprehensive to wanting more immigrants to come to it is because global labor arbitrage is a political phenomenon. It is something that happens and is done by global powers. So if you look at every refugee or asylum-seeking immigrant that comes to America, when you look at the foreign policy, you will see that we have had a hand in destabilizing their actual economies
Right.
and their social constructs to the point where they have to come here. And when you look at it and place it in the patterns of America, it usually happens in and around times where influxes or political climates get very volatile in America, when we try to push for wage increases on all of those different things that actually create a better quality of life, because they understand how to take advantage and weaponize those who are coming from deprivation,
Dire
right?
situation.
Right.
And so I think it's both. I think it's, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden got caught off guard because, again, I do believe Joe Biden is a racist. I've said that on many accounts. I stand on that. If people want to challenge me on that, I'm not Kamala Harris. I'm not going to giggle about it. I don't think it's a joke. I think it's disgusting that you can say that about a person, because if I call a person racist, please believe I don't just use that word lightly. I would never use it against a person, whether they white or be anything, just for laugh's sake or anything. But I do believe Joe Biden, again, Dixiecrat person who has a track record of putting people into the carceral state, undermining wages, putting people into debt, because when we talk about student loan, he's the one who incentivized banks and put the policies in place that didn't allow us to actually put those into bankruptcy. And so I think it's a mixture of people trying to cover their tracks because they've been put on blast, and because it's not good PR and it's not good pub, and at the same time trying to use Black people, Black Americans, ADO specifically, to use and allow that narrative to kind of wash away and create this virtue signaling and co-opt the left as well. Because what the centrist Democrats, quote unquote, are very well at doing is co-opting leftists into virtue signaling around issues that they don't necessarily, quite frankly, always double down and believe. Because
Great
again,
point.
the reason I say AOC in those cases is because I don't always agree with her
I never agree with her.
positionalities, in the sense that she doesn't double down on that. And even when you talked about Bernie Sanders, for everything that Bernie Sanders stood for, he allowed Joe Biden to take his little black book. And we all know in DC, your little black book is the money. And you gave that up with no political concessions, no policy concessions, etc. And so I felt like that was very weak. And I feel like it's centrist.
That shit was super weak.
Yeah, and I feel like it's centrist Democrats being in this case, very strategic in pulling the GOP, in a sense that the GOP is being neutralized, where they can't really speak on it because it's that vulgar, and because I feel like it's the Trump effect. Like in some cases, people agree with Trump, but because Trump was Trump, it's like I can't touch that motherfucker. He's too hot.
Right.
He's too hot.
It's definitely a third rail issue right now.
And so
I'll say this about AOC. Don't let those glasses fool you. She's probably dirty. Cosby.
So I think just on a surface, like a visceral level, seeing those images harkens back to Black people's dealing in America. So it's like an easy, like,
I can't lie, I didn't really give a fuck.
It's an easy identity tie. They can try to make that, just to piggyback up what you said, and they can co-opt that energy into scoring political points, when in all actuality both houses of Congress are in agreement with this particular policy, because they didn't do anything about it when they came into office. They could have changed these policies, but they let them remain. So it's not a policy thing they agree with. Probably not even an ideology thing, because they've never cared about Black people, let alone a Black immigrant from a country that traditionally in white America, in the racist, white supremacist sphere, is a country that has always been ground down, has always been the boot on neck because of the Haitian Revolution, one of the first Black countries to actually expel, white people from their country and gain their independence. America has supported economic sanctions against Haiti probably up until maybe the 2000s.
Joe Biden again.
So why they speak in public how this is an atrocity and these things, but in private and in policy, they've been supporting keeping Haiti in a porous position.
The North American Free Trade Agreement.
Yeah, for the last 100 years.
Right.
So this is just more of the same America to me. I didn't. Frankly, it was bad, but I didn't bat an eye because it's just America
to me,
as usual.
As my position
Facts.
makes me
Facts.
have to like, as people to your point, the visual is like, oh shit, this is some Django shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Visually, it creates it, and it's like same thing. It's like, nah, this is a fight that y'all really can't. That ain't really necessarily about us per se, like Black Americans. But y'all gonna have a response to it, so I gotta kind of like, hey, this is the issue. I do think that it's just everybody. This ain't gonna be a juicy topic. All of us are gonna pretty much say the same thing in that regard. It's y'all. I see y'all. This is debate. Go look at this. Go have this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just
and when
I posted this shit right to my page only because I'm a troll. So I like to troll people who voted for Joe Biden. So I was
it's like, here y'all go. Here's your man.
We did it, Joe.
He was definitely trolling.
Right.
Is this what you did?
I think that.
Look, I even commented on his post like, bro, you're not even for immigration. What you talking about? He like,
I think that.
I'm trolling. Leave me alone.
It's a good opportunity though. It's a good opportunity to go to highlight these points. To go like, yo, well, when did you think that like America was gonna keep it 100? Like, we know the double speak, we know the political double speak. Here's another example of it. And to me, it became that was my so-called talking point in regards to it. Well, one, it's a contradiction, and I can expose that contradiction all day. I can say, well, you letting these group of people in all day, but these people got a different set of sanctions. Hey, do you guys know why? Hey, do you know that fucking America's been like, yo, fuck Haiti for the longest time? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's the only really benefit for me is it created the opportunity to expose the contradiction.
Right, and that's all. That's
you know what I'm saying?
And to your point, fam, and this is where I'll try to make more sense of where I sit at the current state. I agree, but for me, I'm past using it as a vehicle to point out the contradiction because I believe the contradictions are obvious.
No,
right now,
they obvious to people like you and I who've been paying attention for a while. To the people that
so let me ask you this: do you not believe that people have a certain level of cognitive dissonance? Because I see, and the reason that I ask is because I see people have these conversations. Whether they be on Twitter, Facebook, in their houses, all of these conversations about what America is and this is the game, you should play the game. And for me, I'm at a point where, and you can speak to my commentary, I'm just like, I just need y'all to accept what we seeing. That's it. Can you please just accept what's happening?
It depends on. So yes, to the question of cognitive dissonance, right? Yeah. Now, if you come at me, because most people that's coming at me aren't coming at me because they're coming at me. They're coming at me because they either want a dialogue. I'm good with that. The dialogue is great. My approach to that, you presenting this to me as if, for whatever reason, my approach to that is very tailored. Individualistic to each person, because again, it ain't the monolith. And I'm not going out to go, yo, you see what your boy Joe doing? I'm not doing that. That part is like, bro, I don't got time for that shit. You on main man and you on government, cool, great. But the people that come and engage, these are teachable moments for me. So when you ask me that question, I just go, well, nah, I'm not really tripping about it. I think it's wrong, but what did you think was gonna be different? And then they go, well, I mean, it's wrong. Yeah, well,
it's America.
And here's the thing: the contradiction, the opportunity for the contradiction with the person that's not stuck in that, I'm just gonna be yelling at you. The opportunity there for me for it to be that teachable moment is to expand some information into their mind. Other than that shit ain't my rumble, bro. And on a bigger scale, melanated beings collectively across the planet, yes, it is my argument. Because then the contradiction can be, well, what happened to give me your poor, your tired, your huddled masses? Because I could use that as the argument, but it's just very individual, and it depends on how the person is approaching me. But in regards to like me, like getting that off of the like, hey, we need to be owning land and like growing fucking food, and like, do you understand what happens with fucking hyperinflation? And you know how many times we fucking printed up money like 6 times in the last year and some change, bro.
Quantitative easing.
And then even when people are super like, nah, the government's trying to hook us up, it's like, nah, it's not.
Not really.
And it becomes like, you know, maybe you should be doing different things with your financial choices in this space, because of, I'm just gonna steer the conversation to the teachable moments about things that are actually beneficial.
That's fair.
That's the only way that I can actually use that. And if I hate that it sounds so.
It's a sticky subject, but fuck it, we gotta talk about it.
Right, and it's like, I hate that it sounds, I don't want to sound opportunistic in the negative side of it, but it's an opportunity for me to go, well, that's one way of looking at it, and then that's America, and nothing's changed in that regard.
I'll say this is also a lesson. This is also a lesson to a lot of our brothers and sisters who come from other places, who come here.
Yeah.
You come here, not all, but some, have this idea where, oh, well, we ain't fucking with them niggas.
You see?
As you are.
Right. Because if that's what your energy was,
hold your own nuts.
Right, because to me, because I got that collectively we are melanated beings across the diaspora. Listen, I got that part too, but that got to be reciprocated, brother.
Exactly.
If it ain't, then it's like, oh, it's solar. Oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? And also just kind of like,
I mean, hopefully that was a lesson to them, though.
yeah, because it's like,
I doubt it.
yeah,
I seriously do. I mean, because
Unfortunately.
even with the Elian Gonzalez thing, when they took Elian and they still sent the Haitians away in the same tire.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was like, hey guys, how many times did you got to see this shit to, or maybe the person that we talking to, oh, you're new here, you didn't really understand what was happening.
The problem is though, and why this type of show exists and why your platform exists, because the media narrative in these countries is so strong.
Yeah,
that teaches them like from one of my favorite movies, Blue Hill Avenue. Don't fuck with a kata.
Yeah,
don't fuck. Like, so they're socialized through media.
Yes,
that black people are a certain way. Like,
yeah,
I see when I travel overseas, they think you're a rapper.
Yep.
They think you this, they think you that. And really, I don't want to see is, especially ones who just get here. Yeah, I got empathy for them because that's just how they socialize. From birth to they jump off the boat. Yeah. They media, their schools is teaching them what black people are. We're completely different. They're not taught that if it wasn't for us, nigga, you couldn't even get here. If it wasn't for us, you cannot even move in your country the way you move. You couldn't even move that way. You know what's crazy? The smart ones come here with reverence for us because they know out of the black diaspora, black Americans are the top. We the cream of the crop. You in the middle of the shit. Yeah, we're the cream of the crop. Look, so when they come over here, it's almost like a false bravado too, because it's like, I recognize you guys are the economic power, the social power, the intellectual power that exists in the world today, but I have to create a narrative that we are superior because our culture is intact. But realistically, their culture is not intact. Every African nation has been affected by colonial and European powers. So you coming over here speaking, let's say they come from Sierra Leone, because you have a French dialect, your culture is not intact. Look,
I was in.
You're calling that.
Peep, I was arguing with a brother when I was in, I think it was Senegal. I was arguing with him about colonize. I'm like, bro, you colonize and I'm colonized. Yep. And look, and the twist was, he was arguing me like, nah, we not, and I'm like, and he started reverting into French, like speaking French. And I'm like, bro, you're telling me that you were not colonized and you're saying it in French. I'm telling you that we are, and I'm saying it in fucking English. If that's not a fucking example of fucking like, you should
brothers: the French, Spanish, and the English. When you talk about conquest and when you talk about conquering, and again, what people fail to realize is we have not been so far removed that from when that was just practice. And people get it twisted, and it's like, no, understand, which is why I'm talking about language, rhetoric, and things of that nature, is because when you look at a land, when you go to any space, you can tell the different classes by the clothes and the language. And which language is bastardized. And so what happens is again, people don't, like you to your point, people don't understand that they're colonized because they haven't aired. Right. And they don't understand that before all of this came into place, those three brothers, they had an agreement and they went on. It was like a basketball game.
We got this one. We got this country too.
And people
then
forget
you only got 3 countries.
And they started getting carved up. And when people talk about the Atlantic trade, it's like, I think they miss the fact that it was a competition. And that's why it's divided up into so many subsets.
They absolutely miss that it's a competition. And it blows my mind, especially from my African brothers and sisters, that they have that feel or air that, look, no, we come from the same stuff, but who really overcame, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the reason why we're the greatest in the world.
Yeah, but see, and you know why I empathize for them, but I still, like earlier we was talking, and Trip made a great point. It was like, no, y'all kind of saying the same thing, but we leaving out, let's make sure we talking about the state. Like, let's make sure we talking about the fucking government, right? So similarly in that regard, it becomes like, no, I understand that you have this air and all that other shit, right? But even that air comes from even some of that Willie Lynch-ish, I know it's the different continent, but that mentality's been thrust upon you that you're supposed to have this air because it's not them. When I went to the same thing, Dakar, I went over there for 2 weeks. And the first couple of days, I was young, super young. The first couple of days, I was quiet because my man, his uncle had they did an import-export type thing, right? I'm over there. And at that age, I'm like, these motherfuckers don't fuck with me. And I was quiet. And then after a while, I seen that people is nice and all of this other shit. And then I was like, yo, I gotta be honest with y'all. Like, yo, I really thought it was gonna be rough. Like, y'all really didn't fuck with me. Because some of the people from the continent that came to where I live, it was real standoffish. And they laughed a little bit. I'm like, yo, what's funny? And they like, yo, we thought that y'all over there didn't fuck with us. So it's still somebody in the middle putting salt in the game.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the part where I have the empathy for them, but I'm like, oh, they tricked the shit out of you too.
Oh no, it's a trick back.
It's definitely. That's why it's propaganda on both sides.
That's why I'm saying these platforms that we have to expose the real narratives is important because think about this. We still don't really have control of our image. Nope. Only in the last maybe 6 to 7 years with the proliferation of YouTube and independent social outlets media, that we're even scratching the surface of being able to put forth your narrative. Whatever your narrative is, whatever I agree with you, don't agree, whatever, for us to be able to put together an independent narrative to serve our people, we're just scratching the surface. And that's here that we're able to do that. In those countries, they're still under the guise or influence of state media. That's why the first thing they do when they overrun a country, they take the radio station. They take the television station.
Like, what the fuck you said? No, you can't say that shit.
That's the first thing they do. Or when an authoritarian government comes in, they lock up everybody in the media first so they can push the narrative on the people. Because if you tell a lie, we've noticed by Donald Trump, you tell a lie enough, people internalize it. Whether they agree with it the first time you said it, the 5th time they said it, but the 50th time they heard it,
must be true.
It's internalized. So we have to fight this internalized narrative that we both shared. Like, to your point, we over here, we seeing on the infomercials flies flying around the poor African child, swollen belly. We watching cartoons. We thinking African people eat each other, cannibals, when it was really the others who were the cannibals. So it's like, we're like when we think about it, we were socialized from kids watching Bugs Bunny with African people bones in their noses,
but you know what though? I never, even though seeing that, right? I never.
You never
was
called
like,
one of your classmates an African booty scratcher?
I mean, that's children
just
shit.
a joke. I call everybody.
Bro, I would never.
Where did it come from? Right.
Hold the fuck up.
Where did we get that
That's
from?
the socialization.
Hold up though. I would never tell my daughter, yo, don't fuck with an African.
Yeah, that's
You wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
That's different, but I don't
In the
think
late
anybody,
80s and 90s, our
but I
parents
don't
were
think
saying that.
anybody in the
But
African community.
My parents I ain't never heard nobody.
Nah.
We
I
joke
have
on
heard it.
Africans, but ain't nobody never say, "Oh,
we
you
joke
dating
on
African
everybody,
niggas."
but we
No,
invented
you
Pan-Africanism.
talking
Come on,
about
man.
the propaganda that was put.
Ain't
to
nobody
make you
never say,
believe-
"Don't fuck with."
Like we don't have a
Them
word.
niggas come over here and be like, "Yo, don't fuck with them
Like
niggas."
we don't have a word.
Oh, you're
that's like
discommunicating.
equivalent to nigga.
Yeah.
But like a Carter is like that nigga.
Yeah.
Like we don't have a
We got jokes.
But guess what?
But we don't. It's not that far.
They're more colonized than we are.
I agree.
They're 10 times more like in their culture.
So next question:
they're
should
10 times
there
more
be a level of protection, knowing somewhat? First of all, are you a psychiatrist? Can you fix a colonized person? Second of all, should there be a level of protection in dealing with that?
I know. I think more conversations.
Should there be?
I think more conversations need to be had and more exposure.
Like
needs
the
to
one
be
we had the other day.
Yeah. So
right out here, we had it was a group of Nigerian niggas that was out there, right? And it was so funny because it was just like this conversation, right? There was me and him who clearly disagree on everything.
Right.
Yeah, I
Even
mean,
that's a
look, we both agree these
Even
hoes
that's
are out
a
of line.
disagreement.
We both agree these hoes are out of line. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. But so there was one African dude, they're both Nigerian, sorry, it was both Nigerian dudes. One guy was basically saying, yo, Africa's fucked up. It'll never be united. And yes, Africans don't fuck with y'all. The other African dude was like, no, it's not like that. No, Africa can be reunited. He was
One
optimistic.
dude was telling the truth.
Yeah.
Look, one. Yeah.
Guess whose side I was on? The
Dude
truth.
was telling the truth.
and so what hold on.
He was with the idealistic African nigga.
So one thing about history has a way of repeating itself. So
Here we go.
We have to like we
Here
look
we
at
go.
human history.
This is how he always frames
Empires
his bullshit.
rise, empires fall. Africa was united at one point before it was divided. So to say that it can never happen again is flying in the face of human history.
Yo.
Because it's something that
I
didn't
can
exist.
see
Something
that.
that didn't
Listen.
exist, you could say that can never
Oh
happen.
no, brother! You being an ideological blah blah blah.
Look,
I mean, I'm
the
saying
African nigga, the
But,
nigga
bro,
told us
the
like
difference
this.
between
He
me-
said, no,
some of the stuff you talking about never
Everybody
existed.
shut the fuck up. He said, everybody shut the fuck up. Africa will never be reunited.
No.
Serious about that
I
shit.
looked at this nigga eyes. His eyes said it all. He was
Never.
like, now,
It's like 50-50.
That nigga's jaded. He's
look,
jaded
they're all
and super
beef with each other.
pessimistic.
So okay, under that thought process, can the United States of America ever be united?
No.
I don't think it should be. I don't think you get this. These are good conversations because we gonna agree on. If somebody come in here with the bullshit, even in the middle of us being passionately arguing, we're gonna collectively converge on the motherfucker with the bullshit.
get the fuck out of here.
You know what I'm saying? However, in this space, we're gonna be like, nah, man, fuck that. You're gonna be like, man, fuck you. Last night's fair. You fucking down with them goddamn slave encampments. It's gonna be that. That's good. That's freedom. That's liberty. Then we gonna have drinks. We gonna chop it up. We gonna communicate later. Nigga, when that shit came out, I'm gonna put that shit on my. That's actually what freedom looks like. So I don't need America. I don't need the states. That shit is some fucking like Judge Dredd, fucking like 1984. All you motherfuckers wear the Kanye outfit, like the fucking Donda clothes and shit. You just wearing these rags and shit, right? I'm good. No, thank you. No, thank you. I want to be to your point. I want a motherfucker to be like, yeah, I don't fuck with you niggas. I'm gonna be like, glad you told me.
Nah, see, and that's the thing. I don't view unity in that way.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about
A person being, what I want is autonomy. What I want is agency.
Right.
The problem right now is that there is no agency. A person, again, I deal with racist motherfuckers all the time.
Is you in politics?
So it's
Stay
like,
there.
it is what it is.
Right.
But at the same time, I want to have the ability to impose my will in the same way that I see people impose their will.
I can agree
onto the collective, not the individual.
To me, I just want, if we're talking about black folks specifically, I'm good with our ability to not having a will imposed on us at all.
And the will is always going to be imposed though. Because in your point, to your point, there's always going to be that ideology that's in opposition. And when I say impose, I'm talking about there's a internal impose where I want to impose my ideology in terms of political education, awareness, and all of those different things on our group. And then I also want to impose my will in the sense externally that I wish you motherfucking would come across my threshold, touch my wife, touch my son, touch
that's what I want.
man.
Hold on, that's what I want. I want black people to have the fighting chance to fight.
But we do.
Right now, not in real.
But
are we exercising it collectively to the
That's
point
a good
where
point.
I would agree.
You see what I'm saying?
I can understand what you're saying, and the reason why I say is because collectively, we are not. To my point, most people are blind, doing dumb shit, following dumb shit.
Can't stop watching fucking football.
The 5 of us, the 10 of us who are aware and willing to be like, fuck this shit. Like, it is what it is. You gonna be a hashtag tomorrow, and these niggas gonna be back out here
watching the fucking football game.
I'll say this. I'll say this about this.
That's wait, real quick. That's why to me it's very important to impose our will of this definition, to make our people see the importance of it, to get to that point where we get those numbers. Because to me, it's like, no, this will be good for you, but that shit gonna be a lot of motherfucking discipline. When you tell a motherfucker, hey bro, you go to the club 4 times a month, you gotta cut back 3 of them motherfuckers, and that money you gotta put to the tuck.
I can respect that.
Like, those are the things, because that's that conservative, you see what I'm saying? Those are the things that I believe that the human condition, or the black people's condition, can get to that point. So if we did run shit before colonization, history can go the other way too, in that same regard. And that's why I am idealistic, because I'm more Brad Pitt in the movie Seven currently than fucking Morgan Freeman in the movie set. Morgan Freeman was like, listen, the shit is fucked up. I'm about to retire. Shit is crazy. Killers is out here. I'm out of here. This shouldn't be his first fucking case. Brad Pitt's like, nah, fucking, we're gonna catch these fucking bad guys. We're gonna fucking, you know what I mean? And there was a scene in there where he was like, yo, he was telling Morgan Freeman, like, yo, you believe this shit is all the way fucked up? And he's like, almost like, yo, I don't believe that. And then he said, almost like realizing it, but was like, I can't believe that. I can't give up on our people in that regard. I just have to force them through information, and I say force as lack of a better term. This is what's gonna be beneficial for us. This is what's gonna get us back to that preservation space, to that restoration space, right? Yeah. And when we have done it before, it has been good for us. What we following right now is absolutely fucking detrimental for us, and I don't wish that shit on none of us. But if you're conserving that, oh, we're fucking doomed.
I can respect that. That's real hope. That's a real hope. Yeah. And I can respect that in terms of hope in the manifestation of action.
Yes.
In the sense that I'm going to hope for the best, so I am going to act and move in a way that I intend to manifest, whether that happens or not.
That's how I became a millionaire.
Look, I'm gonna say this. Like, I believe that we one big reset away, right? Cultures are on the precipice when a big reset happens, right? A big reset could have happened with this virus, right? Let's say it super proliferated, right? It was an equal opportunity.
It's going to happen.
It was an equal opportunity bad boy, and if it proliferated like the Black Plague did, it proliferated like some of the things, we might be one meteor strike away, where the reset happens.
Motherfuckers like, all right,
the reset happens, and I think black people need to be positioned for the reset. Because we don't know when it's coming. It might happen in our generation. It might happen in our kids or grandkids' generation.
In a few months.
Every empire, every economic power resets and falls. So black people need to be in position to understand that right now we need to be stowing away, burning away, training, financially, mentally, emotionally.
I'll say this:
being prepared for when that happens. Because as it is currently constructed,
you too comfortable, and you too. You ain't
we're-
really get hit
Yeah,
with it.
we
Really,
fucked. We're fucked. We don't have the war, the numbers, the money, the
Before we do
we
final
don't got none of that
thoughts,
shit.
before we do final thoughts, I'll say this. Y'all niggas know I was America's most wanted when it came to the fire department in Washington, D.C., right? I say what I said about the police, blah, blah, blah. Right? But I'll tell you this. We have to understand to get out of our emotions and how to deal with people. Because I'll tell you, I've gotten more done with the white people on my job that don't want to get the vaccine than I've ever gotten done trying to get basic shit for niggas on the fire department. Ever. And these ain't no powerful white boys. They're here, but I don't want to say that. they're outsiders that aren't from
They
DC.
live in the boonies.
yeah.
But they white.
That have, hold up, no. That doesn't mean nothing here.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
no.
It doesn't.
Yes, the fuck it does.
They're not gay metrosexual men that live in DC.
But they're white. White males benefit from white male
I
privilege.
can tell you
in
know nothing
every
about
sing-
DC government.
in every single
Nah.
space that exists.
When that, you
Can you pump your brakes,
ignoring
bro? Can you pump your
classism in
brakes?
that regard. That class shit
That
is
one
real.
I disagree with. Don't nobody give a fuck about no white boy who ain't shit.
You gotta pump
You,
your brakes.
if you ain't got a certain level of class with your white,
But guess what? The
Get
ones
your
they may be
hillbilly ass-
hillbillies, but
He's
they
gonna-
make six
he's
figures.
just gonna go.
They're
Hell
six-figure
no.
hillbillies. That makes a difference. What you just said.
No,
class-
they're not.
How much
Most
money
of them
they-
aren't.
How much money they make?
Bro,
How much money does the DC
What-
firefighter
bro, you gotta talk.
make?
You
What,
gotta
like
talk to the
70,
money.
80?
How much money does a DC firefighter make
Like
on
70,
average?
80 on average?
Listen,
Answer the question.
I'll answer the question.
Yeah, don't sidestep. You was about to do the trip steps and two-step. How much do they make?
So the starting salary for a firefighter in Washington D.C. is $52,000.
How much do
not
they
much.
make though? With overtime, which every firefighter does. How much do they take home?
It ranges between 52,000 and maybe 90.
How much do the ones you work with take home?
That's about it.
that's it.
How much do the ones
Let's
you work
say, let's
with
say
take?
they do a buck.
Bro, I make
so that
I make
takes
more than
you to a different class level in America if
Hold
you
up.
make $100,000.
Hell no.
No,
I
no,
make
they can-
100,000.
So they could
Where? In what city? Not
Guys,
in DC.
Please stop.
Let him go.
Please stop. Please pump your brakes.
If you make $100,000, what does that put
Sir,
you in earning
you
income?
do
with
not
America?
know what you are talking about right now.
No,
so I'm
you-
asking you just to pump your
No,
brakes.
white male privilege exists. So,
Gee, you sound like a fucking bitch.
So you're not the only person who worked in DC government.
You sound like a hoe.
No, he trying to say, I work in the fire department.
I can't hear you.
So I know what's going on. So my first job
I'm
was
speaking
working
about a
in DC
situation that happens in my-
Indeed, no, because you said I don't know what I'm talking about.
You don't.
So you're talking about
He mean
what,
it in
no. Let's run it back. He was talking about what
very
he was able to do with white males in DC government.
Pause.
That's what you're talking about. So you're saying I don't know what I'm talking about. I work with white males in DC government,
My
and
G.
I've
My
been
G.
in the government union,
Pump
and I
your
watch
brakes.
how white male privilege still works in these spaces.
Pump
When I'm trying to get my
your
niggas
brakes
organized to do something.
and listen
But as soon
to
as
me.
we get some white allies, some white faces, doors stop. This shit open. Oh shit working.
First of all, there's no
shit,
doors
niggas
open.
Mean is getting hurt.
I
a
didn't
lot
even
more
finish my
because of
point.
Some white people
Do you
quit
think?
dealing with the shit.
So
I didn't even
my
finish
whole
my-
point that
hold up, I didn't even finish
because
my
you
point.
call them hillbillies, white privilege exists
I
in
didn't.
all of these spaces. So
You just
saying
went on a
I was able
whole
to get
fucking
more things
tangent.
done
Alright, so
'cause
wait,
I was
you didn't
working-
even let me
because of
finish
the
my
vaccine.
point.
Guys,
No,
let
because
him-
white people get shit done.
All right, let him finish.
Dog,
Alright,
get
go
the
ahead,
white
go ahead.
dick out your motherfucking ass.
So
for
you
one
just
second.
made I called your ass out. It's white man.
No, you didn't.
You
I didn't
quit.
finish my fucking
You didn't
point.
even want to say how much they made because you knew it was.
All right,
Dog.
wait. Let
All
him
right,
finish.
let him finish.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Christ.
He don't like when he get the filibuster. Look, it made him turn red.
It wasn't a filibuster.
It was.
I mean, you don't want to like a hoe.
Look, he can't keep that same energy. I had to get it one time. You see, it's flustered.
Listen.
Maj, why your man is flustered?
So this was y'all turn to do.
You man was
Right.
All I'm saying is that sometimes you have to play the game. Life is not black and white.
Every time.
And I'm not even talking about race. When I say black and white, it's not this or that. Like, sometimes you have to get dirty in the game. Sometimes you have to be like, pause, no homo. You gotta be like Olivia Pope. You gotta fucking work the system, right? At one point, all these motherfuckers hated me, right? And they probably still do, which I don't care. But there's a system here where we're working together to get something done. What I'm saying is, it's a drastic difference between trying to get things done with my own kind. It's a drastic difference. And it's not because the city is gonna give anybody a preference, because the city doesn't give a fuck about any of these guys. They don't.
Government generally doesn't.
What I'm saying is, especially these guys, because DC government doesn't care about you unless you are a feminist, homosexual, or white male homosexual.
False.
None of these dudes fit.
False. Badly false.
These motherfuckers chew tobacco, do that nasty shit, spit the shit back. They do all that nasty shit.
They're white males.
So your argument is the whiteness trumps
All of
their
those other
class.
signifiers. It absolutely does.
I think that's your fear of white people.
I can see.
Bro, I worked in government.
Wait.
Yeah.
I can see.
You didn't work in the government that long.
I've
been in this motherfucker for 16 years.
I think both of y'all have points. I don't think neither one of y'all.
This nigga was a lifeguard. It does not count.
It do count. Because it's still government.
You a lifesaver. Oh, because I saved somebody from a pool, you saved somebody from a fire. You better than me.
No, that's like
we both got salaries and pensions.
The type of people that you work with was different, bro. That's all I'm saying.
No. I'm saying both of y'all have merit to your arguments, which is, so for me, for example, I run it across, let's say law enforcement. I know some law enforcement white dudes that's like, yo, bro, I ain't really know how to get your community involved in the Second Amendment shit. One, I'm white. Two, and I know how that's packaged. And two, I'm a fucking cop. I see dudes with guns. It's like, yo, did you shoot anybody with that shit? Are you going to shoot anybody with that shit? No, cool. I don't fucking see it. Don't be around here no more. Right? Those type of white male cops exist. And I'm like, bro, where the fuck was you at on this, and this back in the day? Right? So that, to your point, is they're like, bro, the government is fucking us all. I meet those guys. To his point, it's like, nah, we can't all the way discount it, like those opportunities where it's like, no, those doors are gonna open, because it's like,
I tell you what you can't. I tell you what you can't not discount, right? The fact that these motherfuckers are putting in work daily to figure out ways to not get the vaccine.
right.
As opposed
What
to
we fucking do? White people are putting in work for their own interests. What is that to celebrate?
So my only point is, here's my only point.
I want to take the vaccine.
Here's my point.
I'm white. Let me exercise my white male privilege.
Here's my point.
Be traded upon.
Here's my
That's
point.
What the fuck they do?
It's refreshing. It's refreshing to see people not fold up like bitches and make excuses and just do
No,
shit.
I can agree with that.
Because guess
It's
what?
refreshing.
Because look, even with the Second Amendment shit, right?
extremely refreshing.
The Second Amendment shit, right? Some of them, it's like, there's a realization when it was just crack over there.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. This is crack over there. I don't fucking live over there. When they get hit, when in Kensington and Philly, when your neighborhood, when all of the white opioid addiction, it's like, oh, you fucking understand now.
Yeah.
And then they going like, yo, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, we try to tell you like in the 80s and shit, right?
Yeah.
Now, however, your point is like, well, fucking whoop-de-doo, we told you in the 80s. His point is like, they got it, and it is refreshing to be like, yeah, we were kind of telling you, but it's great for you to.
You know what the big
Nah, my point is this.
You know the big ass elephant in the room sitting over there in the corner.
It's good to see people
They do not
work.
have the same consequences on any level that we will ever have.
That's
The
not
black-
true.
no,
We're all facing termination.
We're
all facing termination.
But white males in this country and every institution on every
I'm gonna tell you
level,
what. Nobody respects that pussy ass stance.
when they
Nobody
rebel,
respects
when
it.
they rebel within any institution, whether it's them rebelling and
When January
putting the
6th.
guns on them, January 6th.
I respect January 6th. I respect January 6th.
When they rebel,
I
they
respect
never
it.
fear the same consequences because the system is set up for them. The people who are judging them are them. So while you looking like, oh man, they going hard, they just like, oh yeah, these my niggas. I can do whatever.
Listen.
I fear no repercussions because the men judging me are me.
So is that their fault or is that us for being pussy and not taking that same stance?
It's not about a fault. It's about
We can't.
That's your question.
It's not about a fault.
Because
It's about that narrative he was saying that it was easy to do things to white people. It's easy to do things with white males because the system is set up for them to do.
No,
The person who's judging them is the person.
This what he's saying.
So when you gonna stop being a pussy and make it like that for you?
Hold on, fam.
Oh, I ride for mine.
No. That's what he's saying, fam. And unfortunately, I have to agree. The difference is, because I make the point all of the time, that we have to be willing, because I agree with you, and that there is certain level of risk that is associated with us rebelling against them, right? But I will not say, I've seen white people get exiled, especially when they start rebelling for the actual people like us.
Abolitionist type
So
shit.
You will also get kicked out of the club for going against the actual prototype.
Yeah, I can agree with
With
that.
that being said, I do think that there needs to be an awakening in the sense that we have to not, in a sense, not give a fuck about white people, but absolutely not give a fuck about white people in the sense that when he says play the game, I don't.
You wouldn't phrase it that way.
I don't ascribe.
When I say play the game, right?
I understand exactly.
I'm not saying beat him. All I'm saying
I understand
is
exactly what you're saying.
like if you need to benefit from something, it's a group of people that's for your
absolutely
benefit.
Articulate up,
Right.
use them. For me, that's transactional. I wish
All day.
we were, and the reason I say play the game.
Great
is
word,
because
transactional.
when people play, when we say play the game, when I hear us say play the game, it is completely different, and it is not that crude, crud, emotionless,
assimilated.
transactional response.
It's assimilation.
And so for me, I wish that we could get to that point where I don't give a fuck about your babies, your kids, or whatever. Because what I do know that is coming, once we done, wiped out, and again, the reason the narrative is black and brown, once black is done, the brown people are gonna be next. And as I tell all white immigrants, see, I can't wait until they gotta eat their own babies.
It's
I
that
hope
type
that
vibe.
I hope that I'm alive, or
To see
that
it,
when
yeah.
I'm dead, I hope that I can like look from the heavens and shit and just watch the people have to eat their own kid, because it has to come back to that. Because to your point, when we talk about the inauguration of America, and to his point as well, it was built on limited access, not just about race, but race was the first business to justify
The
wealth
limited access,
accumulation.
right.
But owning slaves was the first
Status
It
symbol.
was the first hit of the pipe.
exactly
The first
the first status
It was the
symbol.
first
But to
crack
that-
pipe hit.
Yeah.
But to that point, the white folks, the white immigrants, and the people who assimilate into it, who come here, which is why I don't. To his point, I'm past giving people nuggets and all of that. I want to collect tears.
Yeah.
Because we're at a point in America where we all know what it is. Whether you're white immigrant, whether you're white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, whether you're black American, whether you're black immigrant, we all understand what it is. Especially if you've been here. Can't speak for the new incumbents who are being brainwashed right now.
All of these people at this table decided to do some type of entrepreneurial thing or some type of ventures outside of the mainstream because we understand the type of thoughts and conversations we want to have and will continue to have that may get, escalate in the future, that we can't depend on this particular economy to support us once we take those positions. Like, to his thing, I left corporate America because of small microaggressions when I knew I couldn't be a full
Me.
I couldn't be fully me. I started my own shit, hustled for my own name, because when shit hit the fan, I know who I want to be.
That's what
You know what I'm saying?
That's what
I
I'm
know
saying.
who I want to be.
What that's the part that will align. You will run into those white dudes when their Second Amendment rights, entrepreneurial endeavors, them expressing their own.
Yeah, I'm not, and I don't have problems like him doing transactional things with them. I do that on a regular basis. Like, I've worked with Catholic charities to get money for my nonprofit.
Yeah.
I know the Catholic Church represents to me and my ideology, but it's a transaction relationship. You're the richest entity in the world.
Literally.
In the world, literally. I'm going to take some money from you to go back and educate my community. Call it my form of reparations from them to them. So I understand that transaction
So when that white
relationship.
boy does that, because he's like, yeah, I see what these Catholic people doing. Fuck that, I'm doing that too. What he's saying is in essence like, nah, it's I can better identify it with the Second Amendment community.
Yeah.
Y'all know, I don't have any delusion that if they weren't expanding on encroachment as government does to y'all too,
Yeah.
y'all wouldn't be so gung ho to be like, yeah, let's help them out. Let's give them $400,000. You know what I'm saying? But now in the reality of where we at, y'all recognize that
That's America.
y'all shit is
We in the same fucking boat.
right, right. And so you will have those white dudes just like, yo, bro, you don't want. I hate you and shit, but like, you don't want to fucking take this
I'm cool with
vaccine.
that. My whole point
Yo,
was nothing.
yo,
I'm
you know
saying
what's
it was
funny?
nothing to celebrate.
You know what's funny,
I feel
right?
like it was in a.
You like, don't be too happy about them motherfuckers helping.
You know what's funny?
Nah,
You know what's funny?
Fuck them niggas.
A lot of them-
Fuck you.
a lot of
It's
them-
transactional. Don't be waving they motherfucking flag. It just rubbed me the wrong.
That's the noble.
It rubbed me the wrong way. Like,
I'm gonna tell you this.
nigga.
What's
They
funny
using their
is
privilege for them, and you tagging along.
what's funny is this, right? When I went through that whole ordeal, right? Oh man, he's crazy. Years down the line, right? Because I protected myself, right? They couldn't fuck with me because I knew what I could do and what I couldn't
You know
do.
your shit. You know your regulations.
So at this point, everybody comes to me. Niggas don't even go to the union. When I say niggas, I'm talking about everyone.
Everybody. Right.
They don't even go to the union.
Right.
They call me.
Yo, remember that shit you was telling me 2 years ago?
Hey Brooks, yo man, I got into this, and I help people.
He's the godfather.
He's literally look. Remember when NWA broke up? First Cube stepped off, was like, nah man, these motherfucking contracts ain't right. And motherfuckers like, damn, you leaving the group? How dare you? And then later on, everybody like, hey Cube, like I don't think these contracts is right. And he like, yeah, motherfucker, I told you.
That's the politics right
Right.
So I mean, look, all I'm saying is, I don't give a fuck about nobody's actual ideology. I give a fuck about what's gonna benefit me and my group, no matter who I'm talking to. So my emotions aren't involved in any of it at this point.
But that's a good short-term strategy. Like,
I don't even think that's
you-
short term.
For you and yours. Like, let's say that's a good 10 to 15 year strategy. But in the grand scheme of things, if you continue to move in that way, you'll never have true separation. Because if it's like, if everything's transactional, you continue to transact with people who will never have your best interest
Until
in
you
mind.
cash out.
But hold on, if you know,
But you don't want to. It becomes almost like a Ponzi scheme.
No.
at that point.
It's only a Ponzi scheme if you don't have an
the
exit
difference
strategy.
is if you know
I
that
don't
these
hear
people,
exit
if you
strategy
know
in
that
that.
no one has your best interest in heart, then you move a certain way.
Until I think to add on to that, it's me. For me, it's the farm.
Yeah.
20 acres. It's like when somebody asked me, my homegirl Rhonda was like, yo, when people sell out, if they already got 100 million, like when is enough? Enough. And I'm like, well, I have a personal sellout number. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, when the Illuminati shows up, I already have Hey, you guys don't gotta like silence me. Just give me $800 million and I'll stop talking.
I told these niggas the same thing.
He got another.
Listen, we had a conversation on one podcast, right? And I was talking all this shit, and they was like, well, what were we talking about? We were talking about like celebrities like selling out. And they were like, well,
And I was like, he's like, black celebrities are trash. And I'm like, what happens when you become a celebrity? Because that's
told
where
him
we're
like
going.
this.
He said, don't believe nothing I say no more.
So look, one nigga said, yo, what if Apple, okay,
All right.
yo, God bless.
Be sure.
So a nigga told me, nigga said, yo, yeah, we got you.
Wednesday.
Nigga said, yo,
I said
Apple
Wednesday
comes-
like I know.
Apple
Said
comes to
Wednesday.
you, Apple comes to you and says, yo, we're gonna give you $10 million.
Yeah.
Right? They thought they had me. They was like, oh, Apple says 10 million. I said, listen, I'm gonna take the 10 million. After that point, don't listen to nothing else I have to say.
Bullshit you not.
Don't listen to anything.
Bullshit you not. I openly tell
I'm
people
done.
my number. My number is ridiculously high. It's 800 million. If you give me $800 million, I'm seriously a threat. However, you're gonna give me 800 million, and then they hit me with the same thing. Well, how will we know? I was like, yo,
Just don't
if
listen.
I show up with a black and white Bentley Continental GT, they're the same car and they black and white, I've been compromised. Just don't listen to me anymore after the black and white Bentley Continental GT. That means I've taken the $800 million, then you're gonna hear me saying some shit like, well, maybe vaccines aren't that bad. And it's like, yo, that's it.
He's done.
That's it. He's done. I'm gonna go start doing things with the 800 million. I don't need to talk at that point. There's nothing to talk about.
Let's break it down with the final thoughts because the cameras are about to die.
All right, camera's about to die. Oh shit.
All right, well, I mean, we, you know,
It's dead.
where your iPhone at? You got iPhone?
Yeah.
Let's get the phone. We gotta get these final thoughts. And we're good.
Hey, we're still recording. The episode's still on, so we're about to do our final thoughts. So we need you to
let's
step
do the
off the
final
set,
thoughts.
please. Please and thank you. Please and thank you.
Is the cameras going?
Hello. How are you doing?
We can edit this out. That's where all the fucking Hennessy went? All right, get the fuck out of here. All right, final thoughts.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do have a live studio audience. So what you're hearing is the live studio audience. Sometimes they drink in the studio audience.
This is a live family audience.
It could go left. It could go left sometimes.
Chrissy,
So,
get the fuck out of here.
but we're about to call security. we got a loose moose. We got a loose moose. Hey, go sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
What's the final thoughts?
Listen, get out of here, please. Thank you. All right, final thoughts. We're gonna start with Mr. Lacine.
You almost had it. God damn.
No, he had it.
He did the double take.
So, final thoughts, man. I think that, you know, for the most part, I do appreciate people living in righteousness in terms of actually doubling down on the things that they believe. I'm a firm believer in moving in a way and moving in the ideology that you set forth. I'm a advocate of actually pushing people and modeling the behaviors that I actually say and talk about. So in that way, in terms of the conversation and, you know, when we were talking about being purists of ideologies, I do agree with that. But what I want the average listener to take away from this conversation is that when you're dealing with institutions and when you're dealing with politicians, academicians, journalists in its current form in 2021, I want you to understand that there are more bad faith actors than there are good faith actors. And I want us to accept that, and I want us to acknowledge that, and I want us to that we can move forward in the actual things that we want to manifest in our own communities. Because unfortunately, nobody is going to come save us. There will only be those people who are of us, who are willing to step up and actually provide and protect for us, who are willing to do so. And so I think it's what I want to come from this conversation is balance. I appreciated the conversation. It's definitely those that need to be had. I hope that everybody can take from this. Again, Gilded Sages, come over to our platform. You'll see these men over on our platform.
Facts.
As we start back up, because, you know, Trip, my guy Toure, Cosby, all good men, good black men who doing good things. And those are things I think that we need to continue to push forward, especially when we talk about creating narratives, because unfortunately our image has been ruined, as we talked about, a lot of systemic, you know, things that go on in this country. And so much love and much shout out to Straight Talk, No Chase, because it's always raw. Thanks to the host.
It's raining
You got a little bit hectic.
Hallelujah.
I hope they get the takeouts where I was
Oh, no.
X-Pac and Trump.
Oh no, all of that stayed in.
He said all of this thing.
Raw in the neck. And I'm like, oh, hey, player.
You did that. You did that.
Definitely great
Like,
conversation.
hold on,
man.
player. That's
Cole was like, don't get that shit on me. Facts, man. Maj, what you got, man?
I love the conversation. I love that, you know, men can come together to discuss, to have civil disagreement, to have passionate agreement, passionate disagreement over drinks, over conversation. This is therapy. This is solutions. This is perspective. And I just want to, same thing. I just want to encourage everybody to keep supporting and getting behind Straight Talk, No Chase. And I think that as we are in a space where more and more people are told you can't have discussions about certain things, it's even more imperative for us to have discussions about these things, because that bucks that false narrative. That makes it like, nah, we talked, you know, like if black men disagree on something, it's gonna lead to a fight. No, man, I'm more in tune with these brothers. I'm more supportive of their endeavors. I'm more open and objective to their viewpoints, and I'm gonna add that into my repertoire. And I think the listeners have had that same experience here. So I encourage everybody to continue to listen. I encourage everybody to continue to express your truth. And I encourage everybody to look outside of just the narrative or the comfort zone or the box that you're comfortable with. To, you know, you might have a bunch of new perspective and knowledge on just right outside of that little comfort zone, you know. So yeah, man, Straight Talk, No Chase.
Facts. Cosby Digital, what you got, man?
First, let me thank our two esteemed guests that came on. Devin, now we rocking. You know what I'm saying? Maj, it's crazy shit comes full circle that you were our first guest 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And now, you know, you're on the heights and the platform that you're at. And I love to see all my brothers out there thrive, even though if we're not on the same ideological platform always. Brother making waves, taking care of his family, providing things for the community is something I can always get behind.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I appreciate you bringing your knowledge and expertise to our platform and, you know, helping us reach new people, new heights. That is much appreciated. I'd like to thank Trip Simpson and his denim outfit. You gave me style inspiration today. You know?
Fuck you, man.
Despite he's been drinking lemonade coolers this episode, I find it extremely weak.
Fuck you, man.
You probably shave your chest hairs before this episode because you're drinking light lemonades. But I'm gonna let you know, I appreciate the inspiration. But to my final thoughts.
It's cool. I got you.
To my final thoughts.
I got you.
On the topic of is conservatism right for black people in this current climate, I think number one, black people need to study their history and realize for 400 years they've been socializing conservative ideas through their association with Christianity. This is a Christian nation, so therefore we are inherently a nation of conservative people, especially my black folk in the Bible Belt in the South. Much of what the current GOP considers conservatism that gets villainized and sat to the side is based upon ideology you've been socialized to for centuries. When it comes to the rights of people, gay rights, in terms of a lot of the identity type of politics, you've been socialized a certain way. So we've been ingrained in that. You have to decide what parts you want to pick up and what parts you want to put down. What parts actually serve you as a community. Does fiscal conservatism serve you if you make under 30,000? It may not. If you make 100 plus, some of those policies may serve you. If your financial position is more important than the overall health of your community, especially in smaller communities where it's only a few high earners, you got to decide what side of the fence you want to be on. When it comes to life policies, pro-life or pro-choice, you have to decide for your community what's important to you. How is that going to affect you and the people around you at large, and decide what side of the fence you want to fall off. And remember, you don't have to be a Democrat. You don't have to be a Republican. You don't have to be independent. You can vote your fucking interests. And I have respect for anybody who does the work, the education, and decides to vote their interests, especially if it's a collective black interest. You have the space and ability to do that. So do your homework, vote your interests. What was the other topic?
I think that's it.
No, it was one. It was two. Oh, about
I just want
America's being America when it comes to the Haitian, how we have always treated non-white immigrants. But be careful, right? America is tricky. When the Irish got here, the Italians got here, they were all not considered white. Once the numbers started getting too close, all of a sudden you're white now. And don't be surprised in our lifetime where Asians, especially Asians from higher earning countries, the Japanese, the higher earning Chinese, Koreans, they're going to be considered white in our lifetime. They're already considered a model minority, but they're going to be classified as white in our lifetime. So be careful of those demographic tricks. That's my final thoughts.
That's what's up, man. Listen, first of all, I'd like to say to the panel, great job. I want to just play this clip real quick.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about Steele. And I don't give a fuck about Raheem either. I don't give a fuck about myself.
I'm sorry. I had to do it.
I just had to play.
Listen, man. I'm going to keep it a buck, right? I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, but based on what I see right now, I got to go red 2022 and 2024 because I can't cope with what is going on right now. What's that movie that came out a long time ago? It's a clip.
A lot of fucking movies that came out.
The clip just it's.
I thought he just rebooted just now.
Men have penises and girls have vaginas. I can't vote for Democrats.
Yeah.
I just can't. My kids are on the line. Sorry. Maybe if they change your stance on that, maybe I can entertain them. I just can't. When it comes to conservatism in Black America, I think that it's important to understand that we all have differences. But where do you draw the line of your differences? Granted, I don't promote either party. But from what I'm seeing,
You kind of just promoted the other party.
fuck it. Fuck it. what I'm seeing, I just can't. Bro, I just can't roll with it. I just can't. I can't. Like, I can't sit back and watch somebody tell me that green is red and red is green. I just can't do it. And I really don't agree with either party. So if it doesn't get too bad, maybe I just won't vote. But if things stay the way they are, I'm gonna actually have to, in the first time of my life, pick a party, which I don't want to do. I mean, does anyone understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
No, I get it.
All right, I just want to make sure I'm not crazy.
I get it. It's a crossroads.
I just.
You a libertarian.
I was about to say, it's like three other parties. You could be a libertarian.
It's like one party says, okay, yeah, we're racist, but guess what? You can still do this, you can still do this, you can still do that. The other party says, we're not racist, but fuck all your rights.
Libertarian, I'm telling you. You a libertarian or an ANCAP.
When it comes to the Haitian American Revolution 2.0. Shout out to the Haitians.
He's a trollitarian. That's just look. That's your new look.
On God. It was shout out to the Haitians.
He was born today. Trollitarian. I'm telling you.
That's the word.
He'll have 100 followers tomorrow. Trollitarian.
Shout out to the Haitians.
Hashtag trollitarian.
Once you count them niggas out, they just
resurface.
Hey, that's
Melanin.
once you count them niggas out, man.
Fucking trollitarian.
But at the same time, y'all niggas gotta go. You can't just do that. You gotta go. By hook or by crook or by whip. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
That's fucked up.
Hey.
Let's leave it there.
Trollitarian.
No, on God, no.
You see what I gotta deal with every week, bro?
Damn. You gotta go.
I fuck with the Haitians, right? But okay, I fuck with the Haitians. But just let this be a lesson to y'all. Don't come here talking that sapa, I say all that bullshit. You a nigga just like everybody else. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how much you want your kids to get straight A's, because you know how them Haitians are. Anybody ever grew up with Haitian friends? Yo, if you let one of your Haitian friends get a C,
they in trouble.
They can't even walk the next day. See what them C's got you? Anyway, this has been Straight Talk, No Chase. For myself, Mr. Toure, Mr. Lassine.
Hey, that's right. That's correct.
And Cosby Digital. We're out of here for the night. I don't know when this shit's gonna be posted, but it'll be posted.
We went out with a bang on that one, huh?